Bad guy spotted.
Located a bad guy over there. Got a hostile position there. Hostile identified. Over there. Located a bad guy over there. Hostile identified. Over there. Got a hostile position there.
Nothing here. I'm moving to another sector. I don't know. I haven't found anything. Something doesn't feel right. Keep looking. Well, that's that.
Hostile identified.
Well, I reckon it's time. Go ahead and get down to this thing we like to call game therapy. How's everybody doing tonight? Serious question. Everybody okay? Everything going all right? Let's do a battle buddy check-in here. I am broadcasting from live from the USS Ramses, which is the ship here.
Heads up. Bad guy over there.
Let's get our camera on, right? The ship here in the real world that I'm using to broadcast into the Matrix, broadcasting to you live here from my ship called the Ramses. You can see how beautiful the office is. Let's get our butts up and kick ass, shan't we? Come on, man. Get your butt up. Enough with the camo, man. Get to moving. Anyway, we're back at it with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. One of the very few shooter games that I actually enjoy. I typically don't like these games very much, which may sound strange coming from a guy who used to do the real-life version of this thing. Although nothing I did in real life was quite as fantastical as these games would like you to believe it is. But you might find it surprising that these games are usually a bit, my favorite word for video games, tedious. But we have a great show for you all tonight. We're going to talk about how you define health with the Spartans, that I help all around the world, folks that I, train, coach, mentor, whatever word you want to use to say, help people help people get good at their life faster. Whatever the word for that is. I have them kind of going through a 3-phased approach to the operation called 2022. So the first phase of our 2022 battle plan is healing, right? It's to heal, rest, recuperate, recover from the ass whooping that the last 2 years has been for everybody, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the above, right? And so one of the things that I'm heavily focused on the people that I help, and some of these people include my family members who I talk to and check up on, is how is your actual health, right? Not just your fitness, right? Hopefully you guys are working out and getting it in and not getting completely out of shape and hurting yourself. But beyond just working out, like how are you eating? How are you sleeping? Holy crap, didn't know what that button did. Oh, snap. How are you sleeping? How's your rest? Right? How are you checking in with yourself mentally and emotionally, right? These are questions that I talk to people about in their lives, because you might be surprised to find out that a lot of the very successful people in the world who I have the privilege of helping kick a lot of ass, they're not always the best people at taking care of themselves. They're good at taking care of other people and helping the world at whatever thing they're great at. But when it's time to say, hey, when was the last time you just sat down with yourself and asked yourself how you're doing and were honest about the answer? And if it was something negative, you actually spent some time pondering that and giving yourself time to process the emotions that you're dealing with versus just going right back to the grind and kicking more ass, which for fixer personalities or go-getter personalities, whatever the term is, alpha personalities, people like me, we are more comfortable fixing other people's chaos than we are fixing ourselves a lot of times. Because if I'm going to fix my chaos, it's not just the physical strain or the mental strain, it's the emotional strain of having to face that, oh man, I am not squared away. But any good trainer knows I ain't training nobody if I ain't taking care of me. Right? And I had to learn that. And so I pass that on to all of you. What are you doing to take care of yourself beyond just fitness and sleeping and eating? What are you doing for yourself psychologically and spiritually? Right? And I don't care what your individual spiritual beliefs is. Well, I care in that I care about you as a human being. If you've taken time out of your life, and I mean this with all my heart. I know I do a lot of sarcasm and joking on this show, but this is a real, true statement. If you have taken even 30 seconds out of your life to listen to any of this stupid stuff that I put on the internet that I claim tries to help people, right? At least that's what I'm up to. Whether it's helping, history will decide that. But when if you've spent any amount of time from your life to come into one of these shows, even if it was to leave a shitty comment, I'm grateful. The fact that I said anything that anybody wanted to pay attention to for any amount of time, to me, is the greatest privilege known to man, is to have the ear of another person. I always say I am the world's wealthiest man. Now, I am not Solomon, so I am indeed not worth about $300 quadrillion. I think if we adjust for inflation, he's somewhere in either trillion or quadrillion realm. So I'm certainly not a quadrillionaire as it comes to gold. I mean, nor is anybody else. But the wealthiest man in the world, the reason why I call myself that, and this is a whole other talk I'll probably get into eventually on my podcast too, is I have lived a life where another person, right? I have lived and am living a life where another human soul, right? I have been truly and actually and voluntarily loved by another human for who and what I am. Have I had to grow and change? Absolutely. But for the core bedrock human that's in here, the core values of a person who tries to do the right thing even though I mess it up sometimes, right? This person, this soul has been loved by another human being. Most people, I think, don't get that. And you guys got to know that I think it is a tremendous privilege to have that and to have it to the degree that I have it. I like all of my financial wealth and success and fighting wars and surviving and helping people build businesses that make millions and millions of dollars. That's all great. I'd trade all of that shit if I had to keep the love of my life, because that means more to me than anything. And so when you're a person who's lived like that, you get into a position of abundance where, B, how do you stay so motivated? Because my life is so good. That's why I'm motivated. I want other people to taste this greatness, man. And so I say all of that to say, if you've given me any second of your time, even if it was to write a shitty comment, you invested time from your life into mine. And even if it was to sow negativity, I thank you for it. Eternally grateful that anybody would spend any time listening to me. So thank you if you're here. Now that you've taken time to hang out with me, I hope that you would take the time to hang out with you and make sure that you're doing okay. And so that's going to be the focus of tonight's show. You guys can chat it up however you like. I will probably pepper some things in terms of health and things I'm doing with other people. We could talk about how I help people with their mental health issues. You know, a lot of the people who come to me for help are often either warrior-minded people or people who've seen a lot of dark shit because, you know, they're warriors or they came up in a, you know, situation where it was tough. And I'll tell you, like a lot of things that people come to me with are existential problems. Like, hey, B, I still haven't gotten over this existential crippling fear that I'm going to die one day. How did you beat that? Okay, cool. Here are the actual tools I used to get over knowing that I was probably going to get killed in a fight and I still showed up. Here's what I used to get over it. Right? And by the way, you all have it. I'm not special. I'm not a freaking, it has nothing to do with being special. It's a thing that I have been trained or just I went through life experience and it did it and now I know how to do it. Pass it on. You know, or I also deal with people who have seen a lot of death and darkness and they're like, you know what, I'm not scared of death anymore. And that bothers me. Why am I not afraid of it? Well, I can tell you that answer too, because you and I are in the same boat. Let me walk you through the psychology that I've read that I think backs up the theories, but here's everything I've seen experimenting on myself as a human being and the other people I've worked with in this camp of ours. Right? So I'll pepper things in it, but anything you guys want to talk about, I'm open to discuss it as long as it's not sharing somebody's personal life that's none of your business. I'm happy to get into that. But I really just wanted to do a check-in tonight to say, hey, are you guys actually all right? And if you're not, let's talk about it to the degree that you are comfortable talking about it in a place where there are obviously strangers. I'm not asking you to share your life story here if you're not comfortable doing that. I know I wouldn't. You know, but share as you are comfortable. Never feel like there's some obligation to share any information that, you know, isn't going to benefit. That said, let me take a break here and pause for the cause to take these comments and hopefully not get seen by this perimeter full of enemies. I probably should get down low and go prone camo so they can't see me while I read comments.
Got a hostile position there.
Oh, Clem, you got hit by the nor'easter or the blizzard or whatever that's going on right now? Are you in the midst of that? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hang tough. Batten down the hatches. Tag says, I've been out working all day, trying to get my week's worth of work done by the end of today so I don't have to work after the storm hit. There you go. Smart move, Tag. Batch recording. Tag says, glad to hear your day went well, Clem. Yeah, me too, man. I'm glad to hear Clem's having an okay day. What's up, Tristan? Good to see you. Terry's in the house. My late night brother. What's up, guy? I wonder, does this game have the bloody screen? So real. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. The damn bloody screen. Can anybody help me understand what, like, was there a deathologist that's like, yeah, when you die, you see all this blood in your eyes. Like, why? Why? I never understand the video games where blood starts showing up on the camera screen. Like, it's just annoying. Maybe that's what they're going for. Good point, Terry. But I don't remember if this one has the blood screen. The screen definitely gets dark as you're dying. But I don't remember if there's blood on the camera. Uh-oh, Ryan didn't change his name, so I imagine we need to talk again tonight. That's cool. Terry says, that's not just an alpha thing, B, that's an empathy thing. Yeah, I'll buy that, Terry. Thank you. Thank you much. Tag says, my wife sent her thanks your way for how much I've grown and improved since I stumbled across your TikTok. Well, bless you. Thanks for saying that, man. That actually, you guys won't believe this, but comments like that, you would never know how many people are on some type of media or doing some type of thing that you like Bob Ross. I guarantee you, Bob Ross. Where you at, Bob? Fist bump, baby. Love you, bro. Rest in peace. Well, you live forever here. You don't have to rest in nothing. And if you guys didn't hear, I am broadcasting. You are tuned into this broadcast. I named my ship the Ramses here in the real world, and now I'm jacked into the Matrix. This is my virtual representation of my real self on my actual ship. This is what my ship would actually look like if I was on one. But I guarantee you Bob Ross had days where he was like, fuck this. Show business is bullshit. I love art, but I hate having to peddle these fucking dumbass products just to have a fucking show. I guarantee you, any real artist goes through that. Anybody that's doing it for the money probably doesn't, but anybody who actually likes creating shit, I think has a somewhat of a disdain for show business and a gratitude for it too. But it's like show business to me was a love-hate relationship. But I guarantee, like, you would never imagine somebody just saying, hey, my wife said thanks for the thing you do. You have no idea how much that is the fuel of people doing shows like these still going. Like, I guarantee you there's a guy who was ready to quit today. And I'm not in a position where I'm like, fuck everything. At least not today. But I've been there, and it's always comments like what Chris said there. Where it's like, hey, my wife said thanks for being here for me. Shit. Well, damn, if me being here is helping somebody, I'll keep doing this shit. Fuck it. You know, like that, you have no idea. I actually did that for a minister I worked with years ago. And this guy would preach for hours. And I don't mean preaching dumb stuff. Like, actually, like, I learned life lessons from this man that he pulled out of the Bible that I was like, man, this dude is on another level at this church. And I would just sit at the back of the church up in the rafters because it had a balcony and just listen to this dude. But after he would preach, because he wasn't from our church, he would travel. He was a traveling preacher. I would wait for the end of the show, and I'd always notice he would just sit in like the chair on the stage at the end of the sermon when everybody left the church, and he would stay and pray for everybody if they lined up for a prayer. And like, no BS, dude. I would watch him, and I stayed in the Raptors one day because I worked at the church. I actually worked in one of the ministries there with the young adults. And I just hung, and one night it was me and one of my boys. I was like, yo, John is still down there. He's like, really? And and you could just see him laying in the chair like he had given everything he had to teach people a message that was uplifting, and then to pray for all these people who were hurting, because you had people who were sick, who wanted prayer, all kinds of stuff. And this dude's just laid out in the chair. Like, I imagine, I've read the stories of what Arnold Schwarzenegger looked like after workouts where he couldn't, like, lift his arms. I've had those days. That's what John looked like. And I remember one night I ran down to him and I said, hey, sir, you've done all this praying for us. Who's praying for you? And he said, boss. And I don't remember his exact words because of Jesus. This was 20 some years ago, probably 20 years ago. And he said, bruh, I could use a prayer. Thank you. And I gripped up with him and we just prayed right there. And I just, spoke a blessing over him. And you have no idea, the people who go to bat for you, how much that one little comment, it means more than the money shows make. I guarantee you, even Conan O'Brien would admit to this. It isn't the millions of dollars that Square Enix funded his show with, because he did that awesome, I think the best Final Fantasy 15 review known to mankind is Conan O'Brien. He's one of the illest game reviewers that's ever lived. And I guarantee you, someone writing him and saying, hey man, you blessed my life since I was 13 years old. That keeps him going way more than the money. Every freaking time. So I say that to take time out to celebrate Chris and tell you thank you for speaking that over us, man, because it's evidence of the fact that we're at least up to trying to do something good. One day maybe we'll get to be good. We're still working on it now. Clem says he barely sleeps. Okay, we gotta get that right, man. Stacy says, I'm not afraid either. Yep. Well, you just happen to be in a place where there's a lot of people like you. You are not alone. And when I have that conversation with the people who are experiencing that, they're like relieved, like, oh God, it's not just me. No, it's not. You have ascended to another place usually because of the trauma that you've seen. From what I'm observing, that is not a statement of scientific fact. That is what I am seeing in my laboratory. I will report back when I have more data that substantiates that, but the ideal, at least from what I'm observing, it looks that way. Terry says, you already shared your life story, B. Good, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all believe that. I'm going to let you believe you know everything. But no, your point's not lost on me, Terry. You're not wrong. I do share quite a bit. It's because I have no shame. It's like, dude, I know I suck. I don't need to try to convince these people on the internet that I'm a fucking superhero. We all suck. And the only people who are, the only people saying they're awesome are the ones who are lying. Fuck out of here. Oh, God. Cap says, what's happening, brother man? And Chad, hope y'all been good. God bless you. Yeah, God bless you too, Cap. Good to see you. Oh, Clem says they're getting a ton of snow out his way. Damn, bro. Hank, they're batting up them hatches, man. I think we're going to get a rainstorm by the time it gets to me. But hang in there, bro. Oh God, the acceptance that I was going. Chris says the acceptance that he was gonna die along with all the stomach issues that attacked you, forcing you to accept him. You had a choice to change your diet to save your health or die. So not a choice. Now that I've plateaued at 170 pounds and gotten a better handle on my new nutritional requirements, it's time to start packing on the muscle. Yes, that's where I get to come in and help. Love the muscle pack. I mean, I might not actually be helpful to you, but I'm always happy to share tricks of the trade that I learned when I was bodybuilding, if that's the way you want to go. I hope you make the muscles strong too, so that you're not just a big ball of overinflated air. You can actually get strong and big. Terry says, I look at life as currency. It's finite, so you got to spend it wisely. Terry? Yeah. Terry will hit you with a wise one. Terry's got a bunch of wisdom rolling around in that head of his, man. I like that one, Terry. That's a good one. Kaz says, happy little product placement right here in the picture. We don't make mistakes. We just sell products. Exactly. We don't make mistakes. We just sell products. It's funny you say that, Kaz, because I'm looking at my screen, the screen you guys are looking at over here, and the YouTube get notified the second we go live. Text YouTube to 833-576-2460. Like I'm kind of doing that tongue in cheek. Like you will get notified. In fact, why don't I go ahead and notify the people now that are on that list that we're live? Now that we are live, let's let them know. I'll actually do it myself instead of letting the system do it. But like YouTube system is so broke that every time I do one of these shows, at least 50% of the audience is like, man, I never got notified. Or people will come to the show after the fact. Like I think Stacy came to one today that I saw. I was like, dang it, I missed this. Like, oh, YouTube. And I get it. I don't have any resentment toward YouTube. I wouldn't even critique them for the broken subscription system. The broken subscription system is just math. There's too much product here. We can't tell everybody about everything, so we have to pick and choose based on your tendencies and preferences. So I've created this this system now where we can notify you when we go live. And you don't have to rely on YouTube being broken or not. Oh, no. Let's give them the direct link to the show, not the link to the channel. Come on, let's be professional, right? We want to be pros up in this joint, or at least pretend like we used to do this professionally. Now we do it as a hobby because we love being of service to people. All right, where's the share this with awesome people button at? I think I have to close that. Yep, got to close that. Hit the copy button. We in business now, baby. And the cool part is if you're on my system, the way I do it, the way I send these notifications out when we write them into the system, I'm doing this one personally today. When we write this stuff up for here's the show that's coming up tonight, because a lot of these shows are, you know, premeditated. What I'm talking about tonight has been on a sheet of paper for quite some time. We're not just ad hocing everything. But when I send out the text in my system, you'll know what the show is actually about, so you can even decide, maybe not that topic tonight, or I'll watch that after the fact because I'm busy with my kids or whatever. And then you'll know it's a topic like, I don't really need that topic. I'm good, you know? And that way, the system, we can be of way more service to you, because that way it's not just notifying you because we want to get our numbers up. I don't care about the numbers. I care about being of service to you. It's you can pick and choose, like you'll get the text message that we're going to send right now. Let's go ahead and send it. And then it's like, hey, we're streaming live on YouTube right now, talking about improving our health. Bam. Now you can decide, okay, do I want to come hang and talk about improving health or not? And if you don't, then no worries. You can just pass it right on by, at least. And that way the notification system is more than just a social media notification trying to get their advertising dollars up. It's actually a system run by people who are trying to give you something that's beneficial to you. And if it's not what you have the appetite for tonight, cool. You'll know that, and you can keep it moving and not waste your time. Because I never want to waste people's time, because I hate when people do it to me. I do not want to do it to you. All right, all right. Let's see, Ethan W. says, Bob Ross talked about sadness a lot on the show. Oh, I'm sure he did. That guy, yes. Lots of sadness. Now, hold up a second. I had a map marker. Are they really going to make me do this mission over again because the game didn't save the last time we did this? Is that the drone seeing me? Because this is one of the bases I can come into without really killing people. We can just get in here and not have to murder. And I like not having to murder. It's a good time when you don't have to kill people to do your job. You got to have the opposites, dark and light, light and dark and painting. It's like life, Bob Ross. Yes. Bob Ross, man. God, I'd miss that dude. But at least I can still watch his show. I mean, that's a dude who I wish, selfishly, this is totally narcissistic, but God, there's so many people like, I wish John Saba, you guys know him as New Jabez. If you didn't know, his artist name is his real name backwards. I am connected to people who are in his camp. I'm friends with him. But I always wanted to work with him back when I was making music. But I never got my game up enough to get to the point where I could run in those circles before he passed. You know, and then like I was a part of putting on his tribute show. So I guess technically I got to do a show for him, not with him. But it was one of those things where selfishly it's like, God, this dude understood music in a way that just speaks to me more than so many other producers. That's the guy I want to team up with. You know, Bob Ross is the same. Like, I would have Bob Ross on a podcast and just be like, hey, just talk. I'm not going to say shit for the next until you stop talking. And just be mesmerized by, you know, a person that I don't know his whole story and how he did his things. But to be able to get over the psychological and emotional challenges he was facing and turn that into joy for other people, I mean, that's Jesus level stuff, man. To me, I mean, that's the message of Christ, is to turn your mess into your message. Right?
Damn, respect.
Yeah, respect. Headshots, baby. Your commanding officer may have done this once before. He may know a thing or two about coming in here and lighting asses up. Really telling me that I can't shoot through a desk. I guess your commanding officer didn't learn about perimeter security. All that shit I talked about myself, and now I'm getting my ass beat. That's the risk of talking shit, is at some point you're going to have to back it up. If you do some dumb shit, everybody remembers that shit you talk, like, uh-oh. But that's the fun of like athletics and sports, is like talking shit and getting beat is actually fun, because then it motivates, like, yeah, I'm going to get him next time. Because talking shit actually forces you, like, all right, I talked all that smack, now I got to show up. I got to show up and actually play. Oh, man. Anyway, Let's keep getting into these comments. I think I've killed all the people I need to kill immediately for the game.
Grenade!
Jolly says, how everyone doing? Good, I hope. Me, I almost... Oh, dang, Jolly, how did you almost die? Tell us the story if it's tellable.
Got a hostile position there.
Hey, grenade time.
Incoming grenade!
You missed, ho. So they're really going to make us do this part over again. That's crazy.
Hit one!
Hey, good. Come help me with the real threat. These dudes. Alright, so I at least get to go down and shoot before I got to get into fisticuffs with these hoes. These hoes. These hoes. These hoes. These hoes. Look at these hoes. Too many hoes. Too many hoes. Too many hoes. Too many hoes. And not enough pimps to go around. Trying to write lyrics to this song. Come on, baby.
Nice, Ghost Lead!
Yeah, I appreciate the compliments. Could you come down here and maybe help out a little? That would be way more of a blessing than hearing how awesome I am from my teammates. About it. What do you guys say? Maybe a little bit of... Like, at least if you're going to make me do this command wheel, pause the damn game when I do it. I just, like, why? That's the one thing Ubisoft will not fix about Ghost Recon is that damn command wheel. These are trained, frickin', like, highly trained frickin' killers, dude. They don't need to be babysat through a firefight. They know what they're doing. Make them play as such. Who are the geniuses that make these frickin' games? Like, don't give me a team of guys that I've actually fought with dudes like this, and then now I got a team of them and they're dumb. Like, the real life guys are much better than this. Y'all gonna make me work this whole room.
Grenade.
Oh, now you're gonna throw a grenade. And all I do is sing her praises. Which reminds me of my wife. My wife's the coldest murderer who's ever lived. She just disguises it in baking people cookies and shit. I'm like, oh, I know in a previous life you murdered lots of people. And you probably were gonna murder me, but then you saved my life, which is why I'm in love with you. Genetically, it passes down from generation. Like, your genes 1,000 years ago was about to lop my head off, but you found me attractive and you kept me. And now I'm in love with you forever. I guarantee it. And I'm like, that's the kind of woman I want to be with. One that could chop my head off, but doesn't? Hell yeah. My kind of lady.
Don't know we're still here.
Watch out. Drone overhead.
Like, people think I'm joking. Me and my wife were play wrestling early in our marriage. Like, you know, joking around. I'm obviously a bit stronger than her, so I wasn't using all of my strength. But it got to a point where I forgot my wife is strong as shit. So I was like, all right, I got to at least try. And I got my ass beat so bad. We had a dog at the time. The dog came to my defense. Like, hey, man, you know, my dog wouldn't bite her or anything. But the dog started barking at her like, hey, leave my dad alone. You're hurting him. Like, hey, you're making me look bad, dog. Get me, not her. Miko was whooping my ass. I said, uh-oh. I gotta do something about this. Let me get my ass beat when we supposed to be loving on each other. Like that Martin Lawrence joke about trying to wrestle with his girlfriend, but she was strong. Like, that is not a joke. There are women like that that don't understand. Oh, they're supposed, like, the whole point of this is for you to lose, and it's a romantic thing. And she turned it into, hell no, competition time, ho. Because she's competitive like I am. Like, all right, I guess this is... Why is my door not opening to get to killing folk, man? I'm trying to do this killing, and y'all aren't letting me do the killing I like. Get your dead ass out of here. At least Jolly wasn't here from I'm the wealthiest man in the world speech, because he's going to hate that. He's going to hate. Just when you hear me start the I'm the wealthiest man in the world part of the talk, Jolly, when you're editing this, skip like 3 minutes. Don't listen to that. Long story short, Jolly was on the freeway coming home, saw a vision of me dying in a bad car crash. Holy shit. Looked up, saw a car speeding, and I slowed, and it cut in front of me so close I didn't see the bumper. Jesus Christ. Jesus, twice, dude? Damn, dude. Twice in one situation. That is horrible. So we got somebody here named Enjoy. I love that name, and welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. We're glad to have you. Keep coming around. All right, Jolly. Well, definitely be cool, man. Don't want you don't want you biting it out there. We need you around, bro. And not just so you can edit these videos. Like, we like you. We like having you here. Hearing B talk about his wife after he almost died. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you missed it. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus is the way, isn't he? Oh, get your ass down. I don't understand why the game's not letting me go through the door. That is clearly where we're supposed to be going. Them blue-ass lights on that door. And it's just like, nah, bruh. Good. Like, if I swap weapons, will you let me? Nope. But you know what? I wanted a new weapon anyway. What do I have here? What did I just pick up? All right, that's mine. Yeah, no, that ain't better than my grenade launcher. Give me my grenade launcher back, please. And thank you. All right, so this door is obviously not where we're supposed to be going. All right, so that's the drone button. What does this button do? Nothing. That button. So I have a controller that has extra buttons on it. It's like a cool, specialized thing. And sometimes the games program these buttons to do stuff. Like this undercarriage button is my drone, which is actually kind of cool. But it feels more natural where it's actually programmed to be by the game. But I think in Morrowind, it's up on the, like, that button is up on the on L on the left analog stick. So you press that button and walk forward. Tristan says, hate, 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 hate. Let's see. Turbo says, how do I define health? And wow, will I ever be healthy? Well, how you define health will probably answer that question for you.
That's the stuff.
Or at least, you know, provide a beginning to the answer of the question. I would have to imagine.
And we got company.
Do we now? I like company. I miss company. Remember the 80s? If you were alive, your parents would have company, like Sebastian Maniscalco. If you guys haven't watched Sebastian Maniscalco, please avail yourself. That brother is funny. And he's like unapologetically angry. it makes his anger just gives me joy. I think angry people are actually my sense of humor. It's just people who just can't accept that this is the reality we're living in. Those are my kind of people. Like, who in their right mind do this? Why are we doing this? There's more to live for. But yeah, definitely give old Sebastian Maniscalco a listen if you haven't. Is he tagged? Oh, I'm sorry. Turbo says, my gut is not as volatile as tags, but man, I'm having major issues. I got you. So are your issues related more just to the difficulty of, you know, the way you're kind of biologically set? Or are you like Tag? Are you still in an experimental phase where you're having to find out and diagnose exactly what's called? Like, do you have a good diagnosis for why you have the problems and you can avoid stuff? Or are you still in that phase of, oh my God, this messes me up too? And still in that kind of discovery phase of it.
Outstanding.
Don't want anybody bleeding out. That's misery. Let's put these people out of misery, please. All right, where's my map marker? Oh, that way. Hell no. Here we go. Come on, team. We out. We don't need to do none of this. We are out. Or like Heidi Klum says, oot. Isn't that her name, Heidi Klum? Hey, homie. Be strong now.
Clean kill, Ghost.
Hey, those are mercy kills, man. I don't want nobody bleeding out and dying. He had no chance of surviving. We ain't just running around here assassinating people. That ain't what we're up to. Oh. Roger that. Alright, team, give me some. No, damn it.
Copy, boss. Moving there.
That is too damn sensitive.
Maneuvering to
Can you
the
get the
target.
guy on the inside?
Prepared to fire.
I'll go get the helicopter if you guys square it away. Smoke him. Smoke him, damn it. He can see me. Jesus, do I have to do everything myself?
Letting the guard down. Ooh, you got a gift.
Yeah. I'm not a terrible shot. But you know what? I'd like y'all to have the gift. Freaking shitty team members. That's another thing. Wildlands has better team AI. Period. Like, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but damn, I struggle way more with my team effing up in this game than I ever did in Wildlands. Where's my dang helicopter at? I know there was one here. Let's get airborne. Thought it was there. It is not. But I saw another one. I know I saw a helicopter up in this joint somewhere, dog. There she is. And we got a patrol to take out en route. Actually. Y'all take the patrol out while we're maneuvering. Right? We gonna be a good team today? Can we please manage being a decent team today and not be the team I gotta keep critiquing and talking shit about?
Ready to shoot. Set to take out the hostile.
Alright, Raj. Shit. It's two. Alright, let's get some.
Ready, boss.
Are we all lit up? Let's go to work.
Got him. They're down.
No, you missed the third one. You whore. All good. I'll take care of it. This is totally not the right way to do this, but I'm impatient. Actually, can you heal these guys? Do you have to kill them? Because I'm over here thinking this dude's bleeding out and I'm being merciful. But, like, can I? Oh, I can just knock him out and hopefully don't kill him. Alright, let's start doing that. Let's set a better example.
Howdy. Unless you want me to ventilate your skull, why don't you tell me how to get in the skills lab, huh?
Don't hurt me. That's all I know.
Terry says, didn't you say, B, it's a good tactic in war is to wound and not kill to lure out the medics? Not just medics. It's just like if you're in a fight with multiple people, there's value in wounding a guy instead of killing him. Not just so that the medics come out. It's so that, depending on how a team is dispersed, right? Let's say they're coming at you in a line formation. We'll just keep it simple. There's three guys coming at you in a line formation. They're all 20 meters apart from each other coming at you in a straight line. Right? Like a movement to contact. They're hoping to run into something. All right? I don't know why this would ever happen. The hypothetical situation is kind of dumb, but it helps me paint the picture. So if you shoot one of them but don't kill him, the other two are likely going to go there to help their buddy not get killed. Right? They're going to try to drag him off the battlefield. If you kill their buddy, they're going to recognize that immediately, that the guy's dead, and realize, well, there's no reason to engage in helping him while we're under fire. The better tactic is either to return fire so that we can take out the enemy, or to break contact so we can get out of here and hopefully come back and get our buddy if they live by the same standards that American soldiers do, which is you never leave one of your brethren to die out there alone. Period. Right? Or sisterin, or whatever the word is for sisters or others. Right? So it makes sense to wound, because if you wound a guy, it's likely his friends are going to help him, and now you have three targets in one place instead of three spread out targets. But most importantly, you have three people no longer potentially shooting at you. Whereas if you killed one and they see it, now you still have two potentially shooting at you versus three completely out of the battlefield. So you basically, by wounding, you get a 3-for-1 potentially, or at least a 2-for-1. Didn't know we were going to get into a small unit tactics discussion tonight, but happy to do it. I am quite rusty, so been a lot of years since I've been in a small unit. But a lot of that stuff stays with you, man. It's kind of just becomes part of who he is. Can I please get the weapon that I need for this situation? Can y'all please kill this thing so I don't have to? Shit. Okay, I guess I'm killing everybody today because y'all suck. That's fine.
Drones ready for action.
Now, I asked you to kill this guy like an hour ago, but I guess no. You're off duty today. COVID protocols and all that. I got you. What's up, Brian? What's up, Harley? Good to see you, man. JC says, how are you with finance logic or any books you can recommend on to be more financially aware? Yeah, I could recommend a couple. Let me be a little bit less scatterbrained right now because I'm being shot at, and then we'll get to that discussion.
Hostile down.
Trying to find the position on the map that I was supposed to be getting to, which I think was out in this vicinity, but let's double check. Let's get airborne so I can get a better look at the battlefield. Oh, no. I came too far. Came way too far in the fight. Okay, no problem. Came too far, trying to clear. I was like right where I was supposed to be, but then I came trying to clear targets and we're off center.
Man, you could use this.
Uh-oh, weapons case, baby. Hell yeah. I don't want to swap, but I do want to dismantle. All right. Airborne, please. Yes, that's where we want to go. Don't want to waste any steps. Turbo says, I was given a diagnosis and was supposed to be able to reintroduce food after 6 weeks. I'm on year 4. Jesus. All right, so does that, and I'm asking questions in complete ignorance. Please, I am obviously not a doctor, so if I'm asking stupid questions, just tell me to shut up. So is there further diagnosis that's going on now? Because obviously, if the foods couldn't be reintroduced, then our original prognosis was off, or maybe the diagnosis was off. Obviously, the prognosis was off, but maybe the diagnosis wasn't the right thing. Are they still doing batteries of tests on you, to find those things out? Which I empathize can be super frustrating and just challenging in general to not know what's going on and know why you're in pain. That's hell. Ah. Terry says, imagine Bryant playing Warcraft 3 online. Now, I don't really do online gaming, man. I'm not good at managing large groups of people's emotions. And I don't mean like I'm managing the people, but like having to be in a room where there's a lot of different social tendencies and people with... Like, I'll put it to you like this. I was at a birthday party this past weekend, and one of the individuals, I will give you no demographic information about them. I'm going to keep them innocent. One of the individuals at this party had a complete and utter emotional breakdown over cake slice choices. Like I was able to manage it, especially with like PTSD. I'm hyper sensitive to people's emotions. You can sense them because when you've been in rooms where you have to size people up whether or not they're trying to kill you, you're just used to that energy. It's like, okay, and obviously I'm no longer in rooms where people are trying to kill me, but I'm certainly in rooms where people don't like me. You can sense it, right? There's certain things you get taught to, you get used to reading. And forget about rooms where I was wondering if people were going to try to kill me, because I had very limited experience with that. But being like in business boardrooms and having to read the humans, it's exhausting as shit. Especially when you're an empathetic person who actually gives a fuck about others. You know, it's like, no. I avoid hanging out in large groups of people because it would be like being Counselor Troy in a psych ward. Like, when you know a lot of the psychological issues that people have and shit that's going on, it's like being around a lot of emotional creatures. I'm at a place where no. And that's why I don't, to your point, Terry, I don't really play online. And I stick really only to playing with my family. Because I don't have the energy to manage, like, I'll get a phone call about somebody's existential dread somebody else dealing with, like, I don't also need drama in the parts of my life that are supposed to be like fun and enjoyable. And I just find that like a lot of people just have a lot of social and emotional hang-ups, and it's like, okay. Sorry I said the thing that makes you want to kill people. I'll go back to my cave. So yeah, no, I think you're right, Terry. I don't think I'd want to be in a room trying to play an online video game with large amounts of people. And that's why I really don't spend a lot of time on social media, and why, like, if you wonder why YouTube is my preferred platform, because YouTube, first of all, attracts an older audience. It attracts a younger one too, but the fact that it attracts the older audience is important at all. And it's like I can control to a degree who's here, who I'm talking to, the message. Like, at no point tonight am I worried about 10,000 people descending on this video and then destroying the comment sections with stupidity. You know, and like, social media is such a playful, childlike place, and I don't do well around childish energy at all. Like, being around a bunch of kids, like, oh, like I get fucking nervous breakdown. I would never need to run a daycare. Like, the kids have too much of that shit. Like, I had to be trained to delete a lot of this stuff out of me so I could do what I do. It's too much. I don't want to feel these things anymore. But anyway, yeah, I avoid playing online because people are too damn childish and too emotional. So I avoid it. I'm sure I'm missing out. I'm sure I am. So this whole time I went back to that base to get this guy, and it told me to go get the guy, but he was here the whole time. These open world freaking, we put too much shit in our games. We need to tighten this shit up, y'all. Come on. Make your game smaller. Doesn't need to be this big. I know you need it to be 700 hours long, so you can keep selling me shit, but come on.
What the hell? Mads, this is Jay Skell, CEO of Skelltech.
Yeah, I know who he is. How long we been neighbors? Maybe you should have tried to be friendly before you needed help.
Oh, I was wrong. I thought you and your friends wanted to be left alone. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah.
Fox was right. He wasn't the one behind Sentinel's takeover of Auroa. Walker was. Now they're after him because he could take down the drones.
And you think it's a good idea to bring the egghead here?
You want to throw him to the wolves?
It's better than the wolves coming here.
Jace!
Oh, Harmony. Are you okay? Are you hurt?
I'm okay. We missed you. Are you gonna stay with us?
Harmony,
Terry, do you see a lot of people high on meth in your walk in your travels?
Let him stay.
Oh god.
All right, okay. Of course he can stay.
Awesome. Let's go set up your computer.
Mads, thank you. I'm gonna do all I can for you and your friends. I promise you.
Get out of here.
You know, just how many damn computers are you all gonna set up?
A lot.
And speaking of which, your dad's got something he needs to show you.
I remember this part of the game. It'll be nice to finally finish this game. And we finally finished Shan Yuan last night, minus a little comical, the last hour of the game, me cussing it out for making me walk around slowly and talk to people. You know, my favorite thing to do in video games. That's what they saved for the closing credit part of the game, was walking around the whole world and backtracking through all the dungeons to talk to people and see cutscenes. And it's the worst ending to a video game I think I've ever seen. Like Atari 2600 video games where they just say fuck off at the end of it are better than that shit. But overall, I did enjoy the game. I want to be clear. I do a lot of joking and sarcasm, but I did like the game. Much as I hated the ending. It was like, I tell people it was the inverse of Ghost of Tsushima. I hated the whole game until the last 10 minutes, and then I fell in love with it. And then this game, I wouldn't say I was in love with it. I liked it for the whole game, and then the last hour was torture. But it was livable torture. It was worth doing an hour of torture to get through about what seemed like 20 hours of fun. So you know, 1 hour of pain to 20 hours of fun, it doesn't get better than that in life. That's a blessing. Jay Cardoso says, what are your thoughts on the whole happy wife, happy life? Are we supposed to be submissive when our lady is being emotionally out of control? Well, so your question has a lot of presuppositions in it. And what I mean by that is, one, your question presupposes that I know what happy wife, happy life means. You've equated it to being submissive to a person who, so submissive, we can agree on what that word means. But when you say someone is being emotionally out of control, that's where it gets a little weird for me. I certainly wouldn't define happy life, happy wife, or happy wife, happy life as a man being submissive to a woman who is emotionally out of control. But what do you even mean by emotionally out of control? Like, is she throwing dishes and shit at you? Has she shot you? Did she pull a pin on a grenade and say, I'm going to fucking let this thing go if you don't take me to the goddamn J.C. Penney's tonight? Like, you know what I mean? It's, for me to answer that question, you got to get a little bit more specific and a little bit more directed defining your terms. Right? Because the general answer to your question is a relationship is always a choice to submit yourself to the will of another human, right? And you do that voluntarily. Like, I'm not saying there's oppression or you're forcing somebody to do something. It's like, I want this person to be happy, and sometimes that person being happy means I need to forego things that I like. And if I value her happiness or joy or fulfillment or whatever the thing is in the moment greater than my temporary pain, then yes, I'm going to submit. Right? It's like that scripture that everybody, fights over in the Bible, like, wives, submit to your husbands, and then they stop reading, right? But read the next line. And I always tell, like, I'll have husbands and wives ask me about this, like, okay, so she's supposed to submit, because there'll be Bible people, she's supposed to submit, right, B? I was like, well, read the scripture. Well, it says, wives, submit to your husbands. I said, read the rest of the sentence. It says, and husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Now, the last time I checked, Christ loved the church so much that he threw his ass up on a fucking tree and died for that motherfucker. So, if you're the type of husband who's jumping up on crosses for your wife, I think she's probably not going to have any problem submitting to you watching the fucking game this weekend. Or, whatever the thing is. But there's always going to be submission. And my philosophy is the stronger person always yields, and the person who cares most wins. It's an easy philosophy to live by. It doesn't always work, but it works for the most part for me. But I value my wife, like, I've basically conditioned myself to get a ton of happiness, joy, and fulfillment out of making that woman's life great. Right? That gives me joy to please her. So for me, like, submitting to her is not a second thought. If there's a place where I can be submissive in that she has something she wants and maybe what I want is in conflict, but I'll forego it because overall I can agree that her fulfillment in this potential situation is far greater and more valuable to me than my temporary pain that I'm going to experience. And she would say the exact same thing about me, because, like, early in our marriage, some of my peers would be somewhat astonished that, like, I'd go hang out and I'd be out till 3 a.m. and I'd have friends ask, like, yo, B, you gonna check in? Like, your wife gonna be all right with this? I was like, well, don't you think if my wife wasn't all right with it, my phone would be blowing up? Yeah, like, and so my wife was asked the question, like, why, from another man, why, like, not questioning it, but you're so cool with your husband basically doing whatever you want and you don't ever have a say in it. Why do you just let your husband, quote unquote, let your husband run wild? And she says, because I know if I say to him, babe, I need you to give up on this thing you really, really, really want because I need this thing over here, my husband's not going to balk or bat an eyelash. His ass is going to be standing next to me for the thing I know I need, and he's going to be willing to give up the thing he wants for the thing I need. And there's no question in my mind that he'll do that. So if he wants to go hang out at whatever stupid ass place till 3 a.m. because that makes him happy, but I know I can count on him when I need his ass here, he can hang out as long as he can sleep at the fucking club as far as I'm concerned. So is that kind of in the realm of what you're talking about, me telling you these stories from my life? Is that helpful to you at all? If it's me just being a narcissist, tell me to shut the fuck up. But yeah, like, I think I get where you're going, but I need to be more clear on what you mean. Let's see. Terry likes brownies. I think we all agree we like brownies, right? Because we have agreed on nothing. We got in a fight about Jolly Ranchers last night. We always fight about video games. I had a new revelation about storytelling and why I hate it, though. We'll talk about that on another show. And we'll talk about, I had a new revelation about how Bloodborne and Dark Souls are football. Oh, shit. What? Yes, I was doing some thought exercises today, and Dark Souls and Bloodborne came to my mind, and how I critique and criticize those games. And I was like, you know what? The same way I love football is the same way Dark Souls fans love Dark Souls. I got to respect that. I got to respect the reason why I actually hate Dark Souls is because I suck at it, and I'm not willing. Well, I guess I did kind of get good at it, so I don't terribly suck at it. But it's, man, anyway, that's a whole other discussion. I had to eat that one. I was like, damn. I could totally see how Dark Souls to somebody else is exactly football to me. It's like, oh, Jesus. And the conversation actually came with Miko. We were talking about football. She's like, babe, football is fucking calculus, bro. It's hard. Like, to know when you're supposed to go, where you're supposed to go, and now where I'm supposed to go changed because this guy did a thing. How the fuck do you know all that? I said, because I've been playing this game since before I could fully speak English. Like, I've been throwing, catching, and doing plays since before I have memories. Like, that's all it is. If I had been playing Bloodborne as long as I've been playing football, it'd probably be my favorite thing of all time. Let's see, Terry says, Brian Chambers, the move and change of dogs have me restarting. Okay. Before the move, they thought it was also the stress. Okay, yes. Can't say it's still, that is still as high, which is good. I'm glad your stress levels are coming down. So if the stress levels and the cortisol is coming down, but the dietary changes still haven't kicked in, you know, one could rationally say, okay, maybe it takes some time not being stressed. I'll tell you, my doctor told me she wanted me in an unstressful state for 2 years of like solid nights of sleep. She's like, I don't want you doing any real like work. Like, just like, you can work out and you can do that shit, but like focus on sleep. She's like, I want you for 2 years to focus on rest and just doing the things necessary for the day, like taking care of your kids, getting them to school, and like eating right and working out. And she's like, and maybe play some PlayStation. She's like, she's like, in anywhere in your business world, could you put shit on the shelf and just do that for 2 years? And I was like, yeah, I can figure it out. You know, I could totally do that. She's like, yeah, because you will definitely, like, that will help your, not only your mental and emotional recovery, but a lot of the physical strain you've put on yourself. I was like, all right, cool. So I say all that from my story to come back to you, Turbo. I wonder if it is just a timing thing, but I'd be very encouraged to hear that. I'd love to hear that you're when this happens, or if it happens, that you found a doctor that actually is getting into the weeds with you and figuring it out. And I'm looking forward to hearing, yes, I figured it out, and now I need to stop eating. I got to eat radishes during the full moon because that creates some type of bacteria, microbial mitochondria that I don't know biology, clearly. But I'd be very encouraged to hear, like, in other words, keep going, because it sounds like you're being very diligent about it, which brings me pleasure that brings me, not pleasure, but makes me happy that you're figuring it out. But I'm looking forward to hearing that doctors are getting you closer to getting you right. Now, another question. If you remove, if you remove the catalysts from your diet that are causing the pain, do you not have it? And then the problem just becomes your diet is very mundane and you're not enjoying it at all? Or are you just pain all the time? Kaz says, oh, the Dragon Quest ending. Is that how Dragon Quest ends, Kaz? Oh, no. I still have yet to... Like, that's on my bucket list. As much as I hate that style of, RPG at times, there's things I love about it. I love the simplicity of Dragon Quest. I hate the quest structure of it. Like, on my bucket list is... let me ask Kaz and Terry this, because they'll be my go-to guys. They can always help me out. on my bucket list is, B's pretty much given up on Japanese role-playing games. For the most part, altogether, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. Right? I'm going to play the new Star Ocean. There's no way one of my favorite things of all time is not going to get another play just because all the other Japanese role-playing games suck. But I've had it on my bucket list to finish a Dragon Quest game. The closest I've gotten is in Dragon Quest VII. But the quest structure and moving around that damn temple where you had to go to different time periods and remember what you were doing, it's like, just can I go to the dungeon and kill the thing and come back to town and get laid and get my money and then go to the next town and rinse and repeat? Why do you all have to add this cerebral bullshit to these games? Just let me play, right? I want to finish a Dragon Quest game. To put on the shelf all my bitching about storytelling, 75% of that is exaggerated and just stick trying to make a funny show. All right. Which Dragon Quest should I be playing if I'm ever to get through one, right? Because I don't hate all the Ys games. The one Terry and you recommended me is actually good. Matter of fact, show don't tell. I had it here. Damn it, Chambers. You moved it because you're a whore. You are the whore. I had a visual aid. I was going to show it to you guys, and now I don't have it. Because I think it's in here now, and I'm not going all the way back to the back of my office. All right, so the Memories of Celceta Ys game is not pissing me off at all. Ys 8 was a fucking nightmare, but Celceta's not. Like, Celceta has the storytelling, most of it's text, so you can get through it much faster. But anyway, like, there's exceptions to the rule. I also liked Ys 3, as ridiculous as it was, because you could level grind out of the problems. That's why I actually like Ys 3, is the level grinding it lets you do. However, if I want to finish a Dragon Quest game, which one should I be playing? And keep in mind, I own 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Oh, I don't know where my Switch. Like, I own the first 3 to 4 of them on Switch. I also have the Famicom versions of 1, 2, and 3, I believe. I have 1 on the NES. I have 7 on my 3DS. I have 8 on the PlayStation 2. I have 9 on the PlayStation 4 still in the plastic. So I think that means I'm missing 5 and 6. I think. I'd have to check my shelf. But I have ways of playing 5 and 6 if it comes down to it from my Famicom. I can grab the text ROMs. I have a device that I can grab the text ROMs from the English game, right? And add that to the cartridge version of the Famicom game and play the English version on the Famicom cartridge, so then I'm not pirating. I'm still being, within the confines of respecting Square, Soft, and actually that's Enix, right? Didn't Enix publish the first of those games, or was Square behind all of them? I don't remember. Either way. So that's a bucket list thing that I want to finish a Dragon Quest game. Like, how does a guy call himself a role-playing game fan? He can't even finish Dragon Quest. I got to take a quick break, check on the wife. I'm going to show you guys the swag store. Blammo. There you go. That's not the swag store. That is the swag store. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Alright. Alright, so I got some catch up to do on some of the comments here, because I know I left and been away from keyboard here. Let's see, Ultimate, I don't know the rest of that word, says, that's a pretty cool thing to hear about a marriage. Awesome. I'm glad you got something good out of it. Jacob B. Pert. You in a relation to Neil Peart, the PhD in drumming that used to play for a band called Rush? Are you in a relation to him? And if so, I'm going to ask you the next dumb question. Are you a great drummer too? Because clearly you should be a great drummer if the person you're related to is. But Jacob says, yo, bro, appreciate your honesty and everything you share with us to help us get a bit better at life. Still learning and figuring shit out. We all are, man. That's the trick. We all are figuring it out. Growth, however, has definitely happened in my past 2 years with your guidance. Well, Jacob, man, it's a blessing to hear. We're glad to have you. And I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. That blesses me tremendously. Halo has a mini game where you play football. That's cool. I should have played Halo at some point, maybe. Maybe I would like first-person shooters if I had played Halo back in the day. I guess it's not fair to say I don't really like first-person shooters. I don't like modern first-person shooters. I liked them a lot. Like, I loved Wolfenstein the first time I played it as a kid. Actually, one of my buddy's dads, my buddy actually became a Navy SEAL. His dad, when we were growing up, had it on one of his old DOS computers, man. Or I think it was a Windows computer at that point. And I was like, this is amazing. Who made this? Like, just shooting people. I was like, oh, man, this is cool. And then Doom came out years later. I never really got into Doom, but I did get Duke Nukem 3D. And I had played the 2D. And the reason why it was called Duke Nukem 3D, well, one, it was made by a company called 3D Realms. And it was the first 3D game of Duke Nukem was a 2D platformer back in the day, which I have played. And I think it was made by Apogee. I'm not mistaken. I think Apogee made those games. But either way, Duke Nukem 3D I enjoyed. But then when Call of Duty first happened, I didn't like it. I still don't. The World War II Call of Duties are some of my least liked games in that genre. See, Turbo says, Bryant, my issues do not cause persistence pain. It is factor number 2. Okay, so no chronic, like ongoing nonstop pain. It's just about getting your diet, introducing things to your diet that don't hurt you, and then having to kind of live in the discomfort of not enjoying all the food you'd like to. Okay, that's definitely a serious pain point that hopefully the docs can work around to help you out. I wish you had my genes, because then you'd just be like, fuck it, I guess we're eating rice and water for the rest of life and sunflower seeds. That's cool. No more Cinnabons. But no, I do empathize with what you're talking about. That's got to be tough. Terry says, Dragon Quest is short for the quest that drags on forever. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got to find one of them that isn't completely maddening. Cass says, not all the Dragon Quest games, but some of them have that ending where they send you through all the towns. I think 7 and 9 were that way at least. Oh. Which I guess, I think the reason it bothered me in Shan Yuan, I think if the game had not, let me not blame the game. If I had not set the expectation that I'm going to beat this final boss, which I knew was the final boss because I looked it up, I'm going to beat it, there's going to be a cutscene, and then we're going to have credits. Like, I was in the mindset of everybody's ready to go to bed, I'm ready for this to be over, and we're going to kill this dragon, which was annoying to kill, but we figured it out. It wasn't terribly difficult. And then we'll see credits and everyone will go to bed. And then it was another hour of going to these map locations to watch horrible cutscenes. Like, so it just, in the moment, it was more frustrating than, it's because for real, it's not that big a deal. But like when you're ready to be done and shit is dragging it out and then making you do annoying stuff, it's that much more frustrating and annoying. But you said 7 I won't play again just because it's convoluted, and remembering to go to the temple and do the right thing and go to the right world, screw that, dude. Why? Just simplify your games, you crazy designers. that make stuff more complicated than it is fun. See, Terry says, Memories of Celceta is on par with Ease 8 to me. That's a lot shorter. Which, keep in mind, I only got an hour. I only got to the first dungeon in Celceta. So, yeah, maybe after 20 hours, I'd eventually get annoyed with it like I did. Because remember, I liked Ease 8. We even got past the first part where I rage quit the first time. And then it was just like, oh, that first part that you rage quit on, there's 11 more of those. Like, okay, all right, we'll let that ride. But then it was like, no, there's not just 11 more of those. There's also character switching where you're changing time frames where the map changes, and we don't give you good map markers, and the map sucks. It was just a comedy of errors of like who made this. Like I thought Falcom was better than this at making games. This is actually actively bad, just from a design philosophy standpoint. Let's see, and Kaz gave me the answer that I was thinking in the same vein of. He says Dragon Quest 1 is the shortest one and the most grind heavy, which I'll actually enjoy. I like the grinding of RPGs. It's actually the part I like, the part where I get to feel stronger. Yay! Fun. All right, well, we'll just make it a point to play part 1 then. We'll make it simple. And then Terry says, I can't finish Dragon Quest either, so if I can't finish 1B, you don't have to either. I know, it's more of a fun kind of challenge thing I want to do. And Kaz brings up a good point. I've played a decent amount of Dragon Quest Part 1. The only thing that I think I would need to make that game enjoyable is just a guide that tells me where to go, which technically I could have done the same thing with Dragon Quest 7. But I was out of town. I was actually traveling when I played that, and I didn't have a guide. I didn't feel like looking it up. I looked up a couple things on my phone. It was just like, all right, come on. Let's just get to it. But like if 1 and I have a guide, I think I can pretty easily do my thing. Kaz says, I personally like 11, which is another one I was thinking about, and 8, which is another one. I played 8 with the RPG Club back in the day and liked it. I think what I ended up bitching about was the loading screens. Every time you go into a house, it has to load. I'm like, man, fuck playing games on CDs. Get me back on these cartridges where I don't have to deal with this. I bitched about something that was never important, I'm sure, and then quit playing the game because I had businesses to run. Didn't have the time. It always comes down to not having the time. Suba says, I get a disturbance in the forest. Be talking about Bloodborne again? I was. Should have been here, Suba. It was a great talk. Enix published them all up to 7 and 8. That's what I thought. 8. 8 was the one where it switched. It was still, no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Fuck it, I have it. Let's just look it up. Or you know what? I don't know that I have Dragon Quest 7 here at this house. I think it may be in one of my storage units. Also, top left-hand corner of the screen, I had not been looking at what you guys are looking at, but on screen is not a typical advertisement. That is actually an online course that I taught a couple of years ago. And like I said last night, I can't remember how much we sold it for. We eventually made it part of our Good Life playbook, this kind of ongoing kind of life training program that kind of helps you learn a lot of different principles that help you get through life. Like, what are the principles of leadership you need to know? What are the principles of personality psychology you need to know? What are the actual pillars of success that you should have in your mind? What are the mindsets that should be like I have a whole program called the 69 Pillars of Success. And what that is just little tiny algorithms that if you listen to it enough time, it'll run in your subconscious brain. And then when you get offered a job that's going to pay you a lot of money, but you know you're going to be miserable, you'll remember the lesson that says, hey, don't chase the money, chase value. Right? And then you'll be able to make the decision better, which is, okay, this is a ton of money, but they're asking me to club baby seals, and I don't like doing violence. So I'm going to say no, even though it's hard to turn the money down. Right? Like I turn down brand deals all the time because of that. And we're going to do a talk here at some point about some of the dark side of, owning businesses and some of the things you run into, like things that are really frustrating to me about the way other businesses do business when they don't have to be that way and they could be better. But people are lazy is what I'm learning in the real world, is even multi-billion-dollar companies can be run by people who think lazily. So there you go. But yeah, what's up there, that's access to one of my courses completely for free. It's not going to cost you a dime. You don't have to sign up for anything. Text in confidence to the 833-576-2460. That is the only text message you're going to get is, here's the course. I hope you enjoy it. Now, the system may send you another one message after that just to check to make sure you still want to be on the mailing list. That's it. Unless you ask me on this show to start sending more things to that text, when you subscribe to that, the only thing you're getting is the course. And like I may do when millions of people sign up for it, I will probably do a text at some point just to check in and say, how is it going? Did the course help? How can we make it better? That type of stuff, but never like, here's other things you need to buy. Here's the thing I'm trying to sell. Like I'm not building that stuff, man. I respect y'all's time and your attention way too much to start turning this into sales funnel bullshit. I just know that confidence is something I get hit up about a lot, so I made a course about it. And rather than repackage it and try to sell it again, I was like, man, just to the people who come on this show, which is a small percentage of my bigger audience, they're usually my favorite people to hang out with in the audience. So, y'all spent time to come here and hang out with me. Here's me saying thanks. Right? But coming back to that's why I wanted you to know that ad is not up there to sell you anything. Everything in that advertisement is free. You're just going to get access to an awesome course. As it says, you will be more confident within 24 hours. And in fact, you'll be more confident within 10 hours. If you actually go through the course and all of the 10 hours at one time. I don't recommend doing it that way. But you will feel improvements in your confidence very quickly, because it's not bullshit fluff like stand up straight and shake hands. Like it's actually, here is the psychology here is the psychology and the science about where confidence comes from, and here are things you can do to build it. So it's quite a bit more of a practical lesson than just some, pretend to be tough and, look a man in the eye, shake his hand with a firm grip. Okay. That just means you're hurting my hand. Yeah, it's not confidence. All right. Okay, Terry, that's an interesting perspective. I don't necessarily disagree with it. You said if I've played as many JRPGs as I have, me in this case, as you have, B, it's just not worth investing. It's more like I want to do it for like this is Dragon Quest, the game that gave birth to all these stupid ass games we love or hate. It's more like a rite of passage thing, kind of like going through basic training. I expect there to be some pain with it, but that's part of the fun of these games being annoying is the is the getting to laugh about these absurd things that make us upset. Jacob says, I think my father said Neil is a cousin of some sort. I love it. But I could be mistaken. I have a tendency to dream things and believe they are reality. Well, welcome to Earth, Jacob. You just described all of us. We all tend to dream things that we hope and wish were reality. You are not alone in that, my friend. Yet I saw you stream Warzone before. I did. My kids and a friend of mine asked me to play it, so I did. And then I hated it and said, fuck it. We don't ever need to play this again. Ryan brings up Toy Soldiers again. Cass says, Apogee was the sister company to 3D Realms, at least. Apogee made the first two. And Commander Keen was the game before Duke Nukem. Is the game I'm remembering, not Duke Nukem. Commander Keen was the 2D platformer. Jacob says, I also dig the game you've been playing on stream. Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Wildlands are both great games. Do you prefer one? Yes, I prefer Wildlands. It's more polished. They added some cooler stuff to Breakpoint that I really, really like. That I wish they would just take the cool parts of this and put it in Wildlands, and then it'd be perfect. But I think Wildlands by far is the better game. Breakpoint is certainly the better story. I like that Nomad is actually a character that has lines, and he's not just like a silent protagonist, like he's actually a guy. And he's a guy that I think most people that would play a game like this can mildly relate to. He's the team lead, so he's got to be level-headed and can't be crazy and screaming and hollering and shit. So, I do prefer Wildlands to this game. Even the shooting mechanics are tighter and better, at least from what I remember. But Breakpoint, I will say, is a lot better now than when it first launched. It was terrible. I wouldn't even play it. And then they made improvements to it. They finally gave you your squad mates, which aren't as good as the ones in Wildlands. They're not as tight, but they have more abilities and more cool stuff they can do. So that's kind of the trade-off. But Wildlands is squarely, to me, the better game. And I will not say that lightly or very often. I usually try to stay moderately objective about the games I talk about and understand that we all look at things differently. But I'm fairly confident enough to say that Wildlands is just the better game. Even though I'm enjoying playing Breakpoint quite a bit, I think if I were playing for longevity, like which game would be fun to play longer, probably this one. Because it's got story elements to it, it's got some variety. Wildlands can get quite a bit repetitive, but what makes it win is if you love what you're doing repeatedly, which is basically tactically taking down bases, which I could do that all night. I love it. This game gives you a little bit more flavor. So you can't really go wrong with either, but I'd say I tip my hat, Wildlands is the better game. Yeah, Terry, I guess the difference between you and I is the thing you're calling the slog is the actual part of RPGs that I like. The fighting, it's like going to the weight room. I'm lifting weights to get stronger, and every time I get in a fight, I feel stronger. That's actually like the grinding part of RPGs that people complain about is actually the part I like. Because it's the most like real life. It's the most like the thing in real life that the game is emulating that I enjoy, which is making me a stronger me. Any game that lets me make me a stronger me is going to make me a fan. As long as it doesn't make me getting stronger, stupid like Tales of freaking Arise did. Blew it with that one, developers. Yeah, and I don't mind old school turn-based combat. I hate turn-based combat when it's Final Fantasy VII, and I have to watch the loading. I have to watch the fucking fight load, and then I got to watch them all do Tai Chi for 7 minutes before. It's like, dude, can I please just get to the fight? I don't mind turn-based. I hate PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 era turn-based. That's what I hate. Kaz says, yeah, like for example, Final Fantasy 2, like the grinding in this game is one of the things I love about it. I like on the moon, I grinded for hours, just loving battle after battle after battle, getting stronger. Oh, I learned Meteo. I'm kicking ass now. Like it's fun. It's just like going to the weight room and putting in reps and sets. I love it. I wish more games were like that instead of trying to hide the fact that there is no real difficulty behind silly puzzles. Cass says Club Baby Seals, #1 nightclub in the Northwestern Territories. Is that real? Are you being serious? Because if that's a real place, I gotta go there. Like, I'm gonna go there and play Dragon Quest 1 on stream with you guys on this show at Club Baby Seals. We gotta do that. Terry says, anyways, gotta go, BC. Always a pleasure, Terry. See you soon. Clem says, I hate when people death grip my hand and had this guy do it so hard my pinky was hurting all day. Yeah, dude, the frickin' let me show you I'm a real man handshake. Dude, get the fuck off me. What silly ass how to win friends and shit on people seminar did you go to where the idiot taught you this shit? Like, where his career is doing seminars, not actually having done anything in life. So he teaches people superfluous shit that feels like they're getting confidence. Oh, man. Yeah, it says Commander Keen was from id Software, though, but just published by Apogee. Got it. I know Kaz be the wealth of knowledge, boy. Tell you what, if I ever got to do some research, I know the people I'm calling on. They'll have my stuff. All the stuff I misquote all the time, they'll have me squared away. Tristan says, I forgot all about Commander Keen. That takes me way back. Heck yeah. I never loved the games, but they were a fun distraction for 8 minutes while I was sitting in my mom's office waiting to probably be yelled at for something, I'm sure. Jacob says, I enjoy Wildlands for the command wheel and squad. I also love the graphics for Wildlands. Though Breakpoint looks more real, I also enjoy the combat system in Breakpoint. Yep, yep. Good stuff. Stefan Urkel is in the house. Suba says, Breakpoint looks more real in some aspects and way less real in others. Yeah, I'll give you that too. Gaz says, it's mostly a joke, but I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't either. That's why I'm asking. I'm like, that's got to be a real thing somewhere. All right, so yeah, the topic again tonight was, what does health mean to you? And I'll kind of wrap this up. We can get back to the game, the chit chat session for tonight. But I asked the question because I think one of the challenges that people face is that one of the reasons why people aren't healthy is they probably haven't defined what being healthy is for them. Right? Like, is being healthy for you being at 11% body fat, 20% body fat? Is it being at a certain weight? Is it being able to eat certain things? Like, actually taking the time, and I'm not saying that there's a right and wrong definition for health. I mean, you can look up the word healthy in the dictionary and you'll get that. But what I mean is, what is your perception? What is your definition of you being healthy? And actually taking time to sit down and think about that. Like, how do you want to look? How do you want to feel? How do you want your diet to be? Are you willing to be super, super strict and disciplined so that you can run around here looking like you're completely dehydrated with 12-pack abs all the time? Or do you want to be in shape and look good, but also look like a human, but enjoy a Cinnabon? And I'm not saying either one of those paths is right or wrong. It's understanding what works for you. And the whole point of the message tonight is take time for yourself and with yourself to ask yourself these questions, think about it, and come up with some answers, because it's going to seem so parochial and childish, but it's such a good act of self-care because it shows that you're investing time in yourself, and that's always a good thing. All right, so let's make sure we're defining what health is for us so that we can set proper goals and objectives and actually make those things happen in our lives and not be discouraged about, oh man, I wish I was in better shape. It's like, no, let's stop wishing. Let's build a plan. Let's recognize that you're probably going to be less disciplined than you wish you were. That's everybody. I don't care if you're the most disciplined person in the world. You wish you were more of that, right? But you're going to be as disciplined as you are right now. And at least, like, if I could get you just working out 3 days a week, and the workouts don't have to be anything crazy. I don't need you to run a marathon. I don't need you to do 1 million push-ups. Like, if I could just get that exercise in you 3 times a week. And of course, we're not just talking about physical health. We're not just talking about working out. We're talking about diet. We're talking about rest. We're talking about mental health, spiritual health. All of those things. How do you define it for yourself? And then what are the goals you want to set around that? And this is part of what I do with the Spartans that I train in the real world is we talk about this stuff. It's not just about helping people build $1 million businesses. It's about, or $1 billion businesses, depending on which Spartan I'm working with and helping. But it's also about just holistically taking care of yourself and not just like, here's a tactic I use to make all this money, but are you properly taking care of yourself so that you can enjoy this money 50 years from now after you're done being rich? Or becoming rich. Let's see. Stefan says, an older strategy game I enjoy is Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. I think I've heard of that. Sounds very familiar to me. I don't think I've played it, though. Let's see. Jacob says, I grew up watching Dad play SOCOM Navy SEALs on PS2. We're going to be playing that on the show. Good. You're going to have some nice nostalgic moments from hanging out with your dad when we get to that on the show. And if I had to guess, because we already finished, we finished Shan Yuan last night. We'll probably finish Chernobylite either next week or the week after. We already finished God of War. SOCOM might be coming up sooner than you think. So it's definitely in the on deck pile of my games that I'm picking from to see which game becomes the next one for the show. Right now, obviously, Breakpoint is getting some time on the stage. I don't know if I'll stick with it completely to the end of the game. This may be kind of like Madden, where I dabble in it and I play here and there, but it may not become one of the main games. But if we start having a really good time playing it and enjoying the conversation, maybe we will. Turbo says, what health means to me is no major medical or digestive problems that aren't being addressed. I love that. Good, and that's what you're currently working on, so you've already got momentum there. So you should be feeling good about yourself that you've done everything you can in that vein to get yourself right. And that now you're just waiting on timing and circumstance and other people to do their part. So, it's not where you want it yet, but you can at least look around and say, hey, I've done everything I can to get right here. So pat myself on the back and keep moving. You said good sleep. Yep. Mental health. Yep. Dealing with your issues. Yep. And growing. Okay. So cool. Let's start with the easiest one on that list to address because you're already addressing part one. Other than you being a mom with kids and going through a pretty serious transition in the last, couple of months to a year, and dealing with COVID and life and stress and blah, blah. Are there any other things keeping you from rest other than that kind of, you're just going to typically be less rested than the average other woman who isn't in your shoes? That would be my question there. Suba says, my definition of healthy has a range from unacceptable, acceptable to optimal between the facets of mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Okay, I can dig that. Very organized and well thought out. That's what I've come to expect from Brother Suba. That's good. It's also a sliding scale depending on my progress. Okay, right on. So it sounds like you've got a good system for knowing what you want your health to be, but also managing your progress. So that's a good thing to have because then you can, just like I was talking with playing these role-playing games, you'll start to see your progress, which I know you're a guy who loves mastery, so that's important for you. That'll definitely keep your head in the game. That's good. See, Ryan says, I cleaned my kitchen today instead of doing paperwork, and I turned down a $250K a year job. Oh, we definitely got some talking to do. You turned them down, huh? Well, the deal I got from GameStop was a little bit less than $250K, but I could say I feel your pain. I had to walk away from money this week, too. It always hurts to walk away from money. Believe me, I wanted to write GameStop and be like, yeah, let's do it, but it was like, I can't. At least I did tell them, like, maybe I'm misunderstanding the promotion the way you guys wrote it up because they're still figuring it out too. Like, everything hasn't been finalized yet. But it's like, the way this sounds a lot like what I get asked to do a lot. And if I can't incorporate it into how I do my thing, I just won't do it. Like, I will not do ad hoc standalone commercials unless we're talking, lots of lots of monies. And me having a lot of control over what's being said, which I know they're not going to give me. So, like, I imagine they're the type of company who wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know a lot of the people at GameStop. That's a company that I'm new to working with. Like, I love working with Square Enix because they never wanted any control over, like, make sure, like, they would ask, can you touch on this? Can you do these things in the game so it can have the best opportunity for people who want to maybe play it to buy it, but they never wanted any control. Like, I could shit all over the game and I wouldn't do that. And that's like, I'll do it as part of my shtick and being funny, but I'll always take the glasses off and say, okay, Tales of Arise is not actually a terrible game. I'm sure a lot of great people worked really hard on it. It's just there were some design things that should have been addressed in concept before it went to production that clearly there was probably some disagreement in the ranks and it just went out the way it did, and that's not the designer's fault. That's leadership issues. But maybe they also thought they made a great game. I mean, it won a game award this year, which makes me question the validity of the game awards. But, on the same token, I don't want to shit on Jeff Keighley and what he's trying to do because I think it's important that it's done. It's like, who else were they going to give the award to? It's COVID, man. It's not like they released Death Stranding 2. So maybe my expectations are too high. So yeah, I feel your pain. It's I can't do her. All right, so you walked away from all that money. I know you had a good reason for it, so that does not give me any real pause. Jacob says, health, I'm learning, is everything in all honesty. I've dropped pop or soda, whichever you're comfortable calling it. Either way, I have an aunt from the Midwest who called it pop. I've known pop since I was 8 years old. I don't mind. I don't get into the, you're supposed to be called dadgum soda. It's whatever you want to call it, dude. It's going in your body. Call it Blipterol juice for all I give a shit. I got you. Pop, soda, they both work. Super says, I don't include illness in your definition because illness is inevitable. Your scale is based on. Okay, I got you. That makes sense. You're accounting for the variables that you can't control in your system. It's good. Turbo says, I'm sure it wasn't a suitcase opened, but delayed and requiring lots of work. Okay, I feel like I missed a different conversation that's not directed at me, I'm pretty sure. Sure that was for someone else. Yes, Jacob, you make a great point. Working out is fantastic, especially really vigorous working out is fantastic for dealing with stress. I told people for years that used to train with me, they're like, B, why do you work so hard? I said, because I deal with a lot of pressure and stress. This workout is my therapy. Like, I just had to manage two people who make over $200,000 a year arguing with each other over whether or not a report should go out with a fucking semicolon or a period, and I'm telling both of them, shut the fuck up and just send it out. The people need this information. These are the people that I have to. These are the social situations that I have to manage as a professional. Like, fuck out of here. So yeah, like lots of weightlifting during those days. I can totally relate. Stefan says, what being healthy for me is being able to have good sleep, recovering from being emotionally and mentally drained, from not truly having a chance to recover from school, hence why you're taking a semester off. I got you. Cool. Turbo says, BC, I sleep usually. I have a CPAP. Okay, so we're taking care of sleep apnea. I got you. And use it. And if not getting enough hours at night, can readily take naps. So sleep. Okay, sleep's covered. Hell, Turbo, you're in business. You're killing. Okay, so then the next phase is just what's awesome about that is getting your food stuff squared away, getting your sleep squared away, figuring out, what types of exercise jive with you. Like you're going to just start to see the other things on your list automatically getting better because you got those things in order, which I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm just reinforcing the encouragement to you. Ryan said, fuck it, I'm going to handle some things and not touch the office. Got you. Permafrost Beers. What? This guy. What up, Nick? Just, hey, hope things are well. Saw you on while I was scrolling. Nick, my guy from Alaska, guys. Everybody shouts out to my friend Nick from Permafrost Beards. If you got a beard, get that oil, get that balm, get it. In fact, do I have some permafrost stuff around here? I'll show it on the show. I don't think I got any of your product here, Nick. Dag nabbit. I'm sorry, dude. I'd show it on the show. But you guys can see his logo. That's what I would be showing you. I usually try to keep product around me so that when people are here that I'm friends with or talk to, I can show off their products here, man. But anyway, man, glad to have you here, bro. Thanks for sliding by. Got it, Ryan. Well, you definitely had some reservations about that being the case, which was why I reacted the way I did on the call with you. Like, what? Wait, what are you talking about? That shouldn't even be part of the discussion. Which your neuroticism was doing its job in alerting you that that was coming, and it looks like it came. Good on you, man. I just listen, bro. Walking away from that much money, please understand that I understand how hard that is, especially with everything you've been through and everything that you're building, which is going to make way more than that much money. But I know in the short term how hard it is to walk away from that. I get it. I get it. 100%. So just be encouraged. If your heart was telling you not to give up that piece for that much money in the pie, and I understand where he's coming from too. That's a lot of money, but dude, no, that's not what this arrangement is. If you're just trying to buy a piece of me because you know that I'm the goose that lays a golden egg, let's talk after I have the leverage then. You know, because we're gonna have the leverage one way or the other. What these people are basically offering us is a acceleration to us having more leverage than all of them put together. So I think you're doing the right thing. Let's just stay the course and keep kicking ass. In one day, that 250. One day, very soon, that 250K is gonna be a joke. Permafrost says thanks, but we did a scale down. We decided not to scale up. I got you, man. I know you balance a lot of different things between business and work and family, bro, and you're a freaking killer family guy. So I know that eats up a lot of your time and energy. So I got you, bro. Totally. Turbo says, I know all this takes time, but as my username reflects, I want it fast. Yeah, no, I got it. Totally understand that. But the cool part of you having that type of personality means you're not a quitter. Like, because you want it fast, it means you're going to show up and do the work. So, like, thank your sense of urgency for being one of the things that pushes you to take action when other people would procrastinate. So, you know, the good with the bad, I reckon. Jacob says, I've learned getting knocked on my ass doesn't mean I failed. That's correct. It means I missed the important part of the lesson life was trying to teach. That's a good point. Yeah, I always tell my team, always tell my Spartans that I train, there is no failure. There's only progress. You just progressed in a way you didn't want to, and now you've got the data. Take notes. That's why we have the Bible, because smart people are like, hey, we should write this down. We keep effing up civilization. We should probably take some notes. Take notes, and then when you get to that decision gate the next time, you'll know the path to take. You get the W instead of the L, and now you get to think that thing that you were calling getting knocked on your ass was the thing that actually led to your success. So good on you, man. That's killing. Ethan says, good health to me involves finding a good community to be a part of. I recently moved to a new town for a new job, and it's been a struggle so far. Yes. And I don't know how old you are, and I'm not asking you to tell me, but if you're moving to a new town to get a job, you're obviously an adult. You know, I don't know how far you are into adulthood, but I remember I did a podcast on this, and a friend I had for over 20 years was like, dude, I'm so glad you talked on this. I didn't know how to understand it. I was like, okay. I thought I was kind of patronizing everybody when I said it. Like, we know that, dummy. It's like, no. But it's hard as shit to make friends when you get older. It's because the older you get, you become more refined in your values and your personality, especially if you're in my camp, you do a ton of work on yourself. So self-awareness is always part of your jam. And like, you get to, like meeting somebody that you can actually jive with for more than 30 seconds gets harder. Because you start to realize, man, a lot of people have a lot of different values. And you never want to, like, I don't condemn, like, and I need to say this on the show, too. This is a good segue. And I'll finish. The whole point is just, it gets harder to make friends the older you get. Because you get more aware of yourself and just how, at least this is my experience, and I realize I'm a little quirky. But the more self-aware I get, the harder it is for me to want to socialize with everybody. And this needs to be said on the show, too. I'll take off the funny glasses. We do a lot of joking and sarcasm on this show, and we make fun of everything, and we don't apologize for it, because I think if it exists on this world, it's worth making fun of, right? But you need to understand that making fun of things, making fun of behaviors, not making fun of souls or people, right, is coming from a place of love and compassion and wanting to just give people a laugh. Sometimes at the expense of something somebody did that was silly, usually trying to make fun of myself more than I make fun of anybody else. But understand that nothing on this show is about damning, condemning, or condemning people, or the things you're into, or the things you do, or the things you like. I make fun of shit that I don't like and that annoys me. But it doesn't mean it's bad, or that I'm trying to condemn it, or I'm trying to crap on somebody who loves the thing that I don't like. I would never do that. Like, I really don't care what a person's beliefs are, right? Core values matter, you know? Like, I can't be around somebody whose values are opposed to mine. But your beliefs, like the things you believe in, the things you like on the planet, that ain't got shit to do with me. Live your life. You know, I'm not going to try to influence that. So just know there's no condemnation or actual judgment here. There's no hate. It's the things we make fun of are because life is absurd, and it's also very painful. We've just learned that making people laugh sometimes at the stupid things we do and say makes people feel good. So if you're new here and you're like, damn, this dude hates everything. Yes, but it's for your enjoyment, not because I actually hate everything. Permasov says, slow is smooth and smooth is fast, brother. Yes. Let's see, Permafrost says, went over 100K in sales out of the house, and the scale-up cost wasn't something we wanted to take out a loan for. Totally understand. I still love the day job, too. So pop-up cash, only local. Hey, man, but that's, like, to me, that's almost a better situation, because you take that you take that cash influx, and now you're responsible to other people, and now you've got this pressure to make profit, which means now we got to start making short-term decisions that are based upon profit, not necessarily exactly doing business the way we like to do it, and you incur stress, and then now you're working 90 hours on this thing to make it awesome, versus whatever you were working in your spare time to scale it up to where it is. So sometimes that 100K mark is really a dope sweet spot to be in. If it doesn't require a lot of, labor on your end to get it to that point where it's taking you away from the things you love, that's a sweet place to be, man. I almost would say that's a better place to be than the cash infused business that now has to live. Not because you would totally live up to the expectations, but I don't know that you made the decision would want to incur the stress of what you would have to become to get to that place. I got you, Ryan. Cool. Steven says, on another note, B, my pops is doing well and his company is slowly growing. Awesome. Tell Dad I said hello, please. And I hope he's doing well. And I'm glad he's recovering. Tristan says, I've been focused on my physical health of late. Working out, cutting back on sugar, and I love my sugar. But I've been concerned about my mental health. I've been more and more anxious lately. Which, remember, is natural given your life circumstances. You've been through a very severe change in career, and people kind of take that lightly because on the surface it just feels like, well, I was working here and now I drive to this place and now I work here. But the intangible things that people don't look at, like you're working with new people, you're having to build relationships sometimes from scratch. Like there's a lot of stress that comes, especially for personalities that may be more wired towards neuroticism. That's going to make you in a heightened state. So I think in your case, yes, the focus on mental health is important. It's just remembering you're in a position where your anxiety should be heightened. And in this particular case, as long as the anxiety is not causing other problems, this may be an asset to you and not something, it may be something that you just want to lean into and have a conversation with your anxiety. I use that as a metaphor. I'm not actually saying anxiety is a thing you talk to as a person, but leaning into the anxiety to learn what it's trying to teach you or to say to you. And it's probably saying, hey, we're in new territory. Be aware. Be advised. Things could get silly here, right? Because they've gotten silly before. And then taking your family through that transition. You're also taking on a new passion project with your dreams and things of that nature, which comes with the anxiety of, is anybody going to like the thing I'm working on? And on the surface, that people hating us doesn't bother us, but at our core, we still want what we make to be liked, and it is disappointing when people don't. No matter how much I say, I don't give a shit what people think. Well, to a degree, but at the same time, I don't want to make stuff that people hate. So I would imagine, yeah, your heightened anxiety at this point is probably just natural, and not something to worry about, but definitely something to keep an eye on. See, Nick says 20-something below and still wait for you to come up. It's only 20 below right now? Yeah, I tell you what, once I get through this current phase of life and business that I'm in, I'll have the freedom and mobility to do a lot of things. So maybe I will take you up on that Alaska trip. And then once we can get this COVID silliness under our belts and move on. Turbo says, "Preach it. It's so hard to find connections, especially in COVID land. It is. It's impossible, right? That's part of the reason I also create this community is so you all can find each other. For real. Because making friends in the world's hard. And most of the people I keep like regular contact with are often people I don't regularly see face to face. And I'm talking about people like my brother, like not not just people like Ryan. Like the people I keep regular contact with, I still don't see often. And it's hard to formulate relationships when you're not around people a lot. So I will say, Turbo, this is also a good time in our lives. If you haven't done this already, go through your Facebook, go through the old Facebook, go through the old friends list and say, hey, who's a friend that was awesome to me? If this is a thing. If it's not, you can throw this advice out the window. Who was a friend who was good to me and I enjoyed being around? It's as we get older, it's always a good time to start rekindling old relationships. Like I now have I've had the relationship for over 20 years, but I've been rekindling a relationship with the guy who sent me this box. And you guys are going to see what's in this box very soon on the show because we got a lot to talk about with the business that my friend is building. And really, what he's building goes beyond business. It's really, it's going to become an essential life thing for men and eventually for women too. But like he and I started coming back together because our paths now have us in a place where we're doing similar things and like we glean from each other. He's like, hey, what about this? What about, and we build together. And that's awesome. This is a guy that I've been friends with for over 20 years, but we had like 10 to, what was this? This is 2022. Like 17 of those years, we had very limited contact, if any at all. It's a person I still love. Still, if he called me, I'd be there with, lock, stock, and barrel ready to roll if he needed something. But, you just, as you start having families and things, you get busy. But so look back through the old Rolodex for my old people here who remember what a Rolodex is. See if there's an old friendship you should dust off because there's value in there. You've already built with the person. It's not as hard to rebuild the rapport and trust because some of it's already there. See, Nick says, yeah, that is a bunch of it. We are sad some of our folks won't get our stuff anymore, but I've got an airplane to fly. There you go. If you guys didn't know, my buddy Nick here is a freaking killer pilot, among other things. The dude is a freaking Leonardo da Vinci of modern Earth. I told you guys, I hang out with badasses all the time. You guys got to start hanging out on this show. We got, like, he's basically Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible, if you didn't know that. Sorry, Nick. Did I blow your cover? Jacob says, out of curiosity, do you have a regular schedule for streaming? We do. I'd like to attend more and be interactive with y'all. As much as I love the podcast, I enjoy this a bit more. My man Jacob, we're gonna be good friends. Yeah, we stream. It's scheduled for daily at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, sometimes I will do more than one stream a day. That second stream is usually not scheduled. I got some free time. I picked up the kids from the bus stop, and now I got a minute, and I got something I want to say, and I think it'll help people. Let's turn on the cameras and go nuts, right? But that 9 o'clock window, and so a lot of times we'll start later because it's also the same time frame that, my family is my number one priority. So it's like I'm getting kids ready for bed. I'm checking on my troops, tucking in people, giving noogies, giving hugs and kisses. That's this time of the night. And then I come on the show once I have all that done. The variables that control getting kids in bed, for anybody that has kids, it is harder. Well, anybody who's ever led soldiers in war and had kids, leading soldiers in war is way easier than managing smaller units of kids. So, but yeah, around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every night is the schedule. But I also don't stream every night. There's nights where I've got other stuff going on, and we usually will notify our people through Discord. And let me come off the big camera here for a second because I can show you something else that'll help you. We typically notify people on Discord if there's like a major change or if I'm going late or if I'm not streaming at all for that night. But for the most part, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, nightly-ish. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But if you look here on the screen, bottom left-hand corner, if you text the word YouTube to 833-576-2460, standard text messaging rates do apply, and you're local to the United States, this will not work if you're overseas, unfortunately. We will text you when we do our shows too. And then the only time you'll get a text from that system is when we go live, which means at worst, you'll get 2 texts a day. That's the worst amount of text you would get on a given day. But a lot of days you'll get no text because we're not streaming. You know, or if I'm doing a topic that I don't think warrants notifying everybody, it's like, this is kind of more selfish, something I want to talk about because I'm thinking or emoting out loud, which is a lot of what my podcast is, are my thought experiments that I'm just recording and letting y'all listen into my narcissism so that you can see yourself in the story and pull out things that I'm pulling out as I'm pulling it out. It's kind of we're on the journey together is how my podcast is structured. What was I going to say? How was I going to tie those two things together? But either way, it's the bottom line is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, blammo. But like if I'm doing one of those more selfish shows, you probably won't get a text is the point that I was making. Oh, and Ursula had already answered that question. Thank you, Ursula. I'm sorry, I just gave him a long answer that he didn't need. Thank you, Ursula. Clem's heading out. We're stronger than I. Take it easy, Clem. Always good to see you, El Kiko. We are stronger than I, brother. Stay strong. So I tried to make Nomad look like me, but there is no cool-ass black guy hairstyle fade with the little bouffant on the top. I had to go with whatever that is. Or I had to wear cornrows, because that's what all the black guys are doing. I guess this is 2006. When the artist made that part of the game. Nick says, I just drop off badasses. Like you. Oh, please, stop it. Cut it out. Dagnabbit. And then went back and bitched about not getting hot chow. Oh, dude, I was never awesome enough to be dropped off by someone like you. They just put me on freaking Delta. It's like, get out there. We don't need to put you on any cool shit. Oh, that's awesome. Nick says, oh, DC trips might start back up for me this year. Dude, yes. Please. Hey, Nick, I got to make sure you got my phone number at some point. Nick, do you, shoot me an email before when you get off the stream tonight. Just shoot an email to contact@bryantchambers.com and give me all your contact info. I will send you a message on Signal from my phone. And then, yeah, if you're ever in D.C., all you got to do is signal me, and then we'll hook up. You know, I mean, assuming that we both can. Like, one of my brothers actually came up here, a brother I used to be in ministry with, back when I was a good person. He came up right after Thanksgiving week, and that was the week my family got COVID. He's like, yeah, let's hook up. And I was like, yes. And then the next day I was like, no. Like 80% of my team went down, bro. I ain't going anywhere. I'm locking myself in the house and praying for the best so that I don't want to get anybody sick. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it. But yeah, if you come up to DC, let me know. Join the Discord, says Jacob. I'll finish up all the steps here shortly. Cool, yeah. So you guys do not have to text YouTube to this number. That is only if you want to get text messages on your phone. It's not mandatory. You can totally just subscribe to us on YouTube if you believe the system's going to notify you that I'm live, which it doesn't for about half of you. It's just an extra convenience if you want to use it. It's not there. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm not going to text you like, hey, I just bought a new thing that you should buy too that's going to make me money, affiliate marketing, none of that shit. I don't want to do that. If I am texting you, you can take it to the bank. Or if someone from my team is using that text messaging service, you can take it to the bank. What we have to say is important and valuable to you. not just to us. Or at least we have deemed that it should be important to you. And if it's not, you can unsubscribe or tell us to jump off a bridge and we'll get better. All right, let's talk to Jay Scale, baby. Let's get this show on the road. And I got to get used to playing Xbox instead of PlayStation. Ooh, so it only took us 2 hours and 18 minutes to get to the game.
Matt said you had something to show me.
Nick says, have an awesome stream. Great to see you on here. Always great to see you, Nick. Thanks for coming, brother. We love you, man. Keep killing.
Thank you for trusting him.
He's here, but I'm still making up my mind about him. Shaw said you had something.
Night Stalkers don't quit. Ooh, brother.
Someone still with the company sent me this video they shot with their smart glasses.
Terrorist activity was reported in your area. Please stay indoors and cooperate with security forces. A Skeltec security alert is in effect. Terrorist activity was reported in your area.
Shut up! Help
Please
us!
stay indoors and cooperate with security.
Do something!
What you want me to do? Shit. You see that tank over there, lady? What you think I'm going to do? That shit'll make short work of both of us.
I'm just the guy you need for your Wonderland.
I appreciate mid-level managers who still get their hands dirty. Don't you? Get them in the truck.
Move it! Quit your caterwauling. Won't have any of my guests
Thank you, Jolly.
like a virgin on prom night. Let's go. Don't you glare at me, you son of a bitch.
I'm a simple man. You promised to cooperate. And as you can see, I do not abide broken promises.
As I can see. How do I see that? Is it because you don't respect people's personal space?
Trey Stone. He's the CEO of Sentinel, a private security firm.
And you hired him.
Not to do that. Miles, a government liaison. He suggested I hire Stone.
Peter Miles. He's a company man behind Operation Greenstone. He sent us here. Did that asshole set us up to fail?
Man, I hate managers like that. You were never like that, Jason.
This dude's stupid. I hate managers like, who asked you? I like that dude's character. He's funnily written.
The bombing was enough to push me into making lethal drones. Miles showed up with the funding, and we created the Omega security program.
And then Walker came on board as a military advisor.
And when you tried to shut them down, they took over. We need to get you civilians off the island.
Ooh.
And I need to get reinforcements.
Yes, we do. Talk to him, Nomad.
Yes!
With your sexy ass beard.
I found a flaw in the drone control program. I'm working on an exploit, a virus, that can take control of a single sector of drones.
That would allow a ship to leave the island.
Yes, but I need help.
If it's enough to let troops land, I'll lend a hand.
Thank you, Nomad, really. I'm setting up a workspace. Come by and I'll tell you what I need.
This feels awesome.
That dude does not get old.
Big wimp. You know what I mean? My stomach was all acidy and I really just wanted to eat some fish tacos. But now, I mean, this feels great.
Yeah, tell him, Danny DeVito looking ass.
This feels awesome.
Give him some dap. Come on, Nomad. Oh, come on, Nomad. Dap him up. I would have dapped the shit out of him. Oh, I'd have dapped him. Yeah, I like this cat, man. Keep his ass in the camp. Oh, happy-go-lucky ass. You need happy people around you, man. They make you better. That's the good part of having kids, man. They're so resilient emotionally. It's like, God, I need to figure out how to be a kid again. That's where the strength is. Kids bounce back from anything. Like, yeah, it's all good, Dad. We're back. Brother Jace, let's rap some more, baby.
All right, genius. Tell me this plan of yours.
I can exploit a flaw in the drone control program to take control of a sector of drones that controls the perimeter of the island.
It's hot up in this mofo.
We need to find my head engineer. We need to make sure that back door in the drone's programming stays open. And we need an advanced AI we're developing.
Ooh. Yes, mission complete. Kick-ass 30. Damn, that's Act 2? How? That's like the third mission I've done. We're already... Wait, okay, so that's clearly not the third mission I've done. If we're at level 15, I must have done a lot of other things in this game that I don't remember doing. Okay. Like, I remember getting to this part of the game before and it not being that terribly far into the story, but when we make this movie, you're going to miss some story parts. This one's definitely going to be focused on the fun and the comedy and the commentary more so than the story. If we even make a movie out of this one, we'll see what our whiz kid editor says. I rely on his advice quite a bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, so anyway. Good times. Wait, did it want me to go back to this dude? That doesn't make sense, because this wasn't lit up before. Okay, episode 1, main mission. Man, it's all main mission. Let's hear it. Let's talk about the AI, baby. I remember doing this mission. It's actually pretty fun. The building you have to basically secure is tough. It's fun.
The AI is the centerpiece of our campus on Darkwood Island. The campus is built overlooking St. Patrick Lake.
Now, do you know what kind of Sentinel presence is on that island?
It's bad. Lots of soldiers. Lots of surveillance.
All right. So how do I get my hands on the AI?
Find Christina Cromwell. When Grace Maddox, our lead computer scientist, got a little controversial, Cromwell took over the AI department. Maddox is brilliant, but Cromwell will know the AI inside and out. If we're lucky, she'll know how to get it.
Word. Hmm. Ooh, okay. Hallelujah. And let's keep talking to Brother Skell.
How am I supposed to help with the drone program?
The back door, the flaw in the program, needs to stay open. Treystone knows about this flaw, and I had a computer security team working on it. They were the people he was putting on the truck in the video.
So he's got them working on it again. I'll get them free. Any guess where they are?
There's a tech lab where the security team's servers are located, and you'd better destroy the servers too, so no one can complete their work.
Got it. Tell me about this engineer you need.
Paula Madera. She's my drone expert. She's brilliant. I can't write this program without her. I know she's still on the island, but she left Skeltec right after Sentinel arrived.
Are they after her?
I have no idea. All I can tell you is where she used to live.
It's a start.
Ooh, the mission to get her is actually tough. If it's the mission I'm thinking of. That mission, I got lit up trying to save her. But all good, man. It's all for the fun of the game. I wish games like this were a little bit better at like keeping the player focused. Like there's a million different things you can do in these games, but like there should be trumpets and alarms and bells going off like the quest you want to do is over here if you want to stay on task, because you have 97 different things distracting you because they're trying to add enough variety to these games to get a million distracted, you know, to at least get a million distracted people to buy it. Because the truth is, with a lot of these games, the core fan base is much smaller than the total number of people who buy it. There's people who are usually dabbling, you know, people that watch half a Netflix series or a couple episodes and then, that was fine, let's move on to the next thing. That's kind of humans, from what I've observed. So it's like they got to add races and co-op and shops. Well, the shop is something you interact with the gear and whatnot. But then it's like raids. You got to have all this crap going on in the game just to keep super distracted people interested. Instead of giving them a succinct experience that's focused on the fun parts, it's more like players have become more... They're less focused people, and it seems like dopamine comes more from variety than having something that's just supremely enjoyable to experience. Like, just the fact that it's new, I think, for some people, gives them joy. More so than the new thing actually being enjoyable to interact with, so. What up, team? Let's get on our horse together, all right? Trips right. Motion. I'm gonna get a new helicopter. Let's get a new one. Let's get the old new one. Actually, I want one that's got guns on it, ho. Where's my gun chopper? Oh, Billy Goats in the city. Huh. Is that Colonel Donkey Kong? So I want this one. No, I don't need that. I need the actual main mission. See if it actually comes up on the map anywhere. Is that it? I don't think so. Huh, maybe it is. Like, this is where the game gets unbearable. It's like all these damn map markers and all this shit to do. Just give me one thing to do and let me, like, I get that there's side quests and whatnot, but to a person who is not a dopamine addict, this is more annoying than it is fun. So, yeah, this is where the game gets annoying for me. And I don't remember Wildlands being quite this annoying. But like, I have to come to this separate menu to get my damn quest to show up on the map. Like, now let me go back to my map, right? Like, is that on my map now? Like, and if that's the way it made me go through all that, see, yeah, that's fucking horse shit. You're making the player work too much to play. That type of shit in modern games is why I don't play most of this shit. It's like you're over-designing your games, trying to turn all your players into fucking dopamine addicts instead of actually making... Like, if you made 40 quests that were just actually ungodly fun to play, they wouldn't need all this horse shit. Like, get focused, for Christ's sake. I get that it's an open world, but damn. But at least, silver lining on the positive side, at least I now figured out how to get these stupid quests to show up. That there's another step. Wait a minute. Is this? Okay, no. We're over some type of... Huh. Why is the terrain like that? I don't know. Oh, snap. There's going to be Sams out here, bro. We got to get loose. We got to get low and loose, baby. Get low and loose, you won't get hit. Hell, flying helicopters in this game is fun, too. Thank you, lady. Low and loose, low and loose, low and loose. Told you they was going to have all kind of SAM and anti-aircraft silliness going on around here. Low and loose, baby. Going in. This is where I need Nick, an actual pilot, to help me out. I can't. See, Nick, this is why I never flew missions. Because actually, they would go a lot more poorly than what I'm doing right here. This is actually pretty good. Oh, hell no. That's enemy. I thought we was about to find some cool stuff. Come on, man. Low and loose. They got Sams out here. It's always Sams. Stay low. There you go. Tree line, baby. They can't shoot a missile over a tree line to hit you. They can shoot it through a tree line, though, so we got to be careful. All right, going into the valley. Stay high and get low. There it is. This is how you don't get shot out of the sky when you have 10 kilometers to go and you don't want to have to walk the rest of the way. You learn to fly low and loose in this game, baby. Stay low. You know I'm doing it. Don't think I'm not. Don't you think for a second I'm not going through this damn tunnel with the helicopter. Outside your mind if you think I wouldn't. Too much fun. Look at all the fun we're having. Didn't need a cutscene. Wasn't no story parts. Just flying through tunnels in a helicopter. And our helicopter's about to explode because I'm being an idiot. Good thing not being detected wasn't part of the mission, because flying low and loose also gets you seen by ground troops. The ground troops often are not manning a surface-to-air missile facility designed to shoot your ass out of the sky. So, alright, we need to get low and loose as soon as we get on the other side of this river. Ooh, I don't think I can fit through there. That's threading the needle. That's a little bit too tight. We'll try that another time. Oh, I remember driving through here last time because there's a place either in The Witcher or somewhere in other games I played that reminded me of this. Alright. Alright, dismount, y'all. Let's go to work. Got plenty of concealment, not a ton of cover up here, so we need to be smart about this. Oh, and we just found some cover. Hallelujah. Yeah, I remember that this mission took me a minute. Because I think I butchered it like right off the break. I got seen. As a matter of fact, I was listening to what's his name's book the last time I played this. Your First 100 Million. I was like, oh, cool. That was actually how I made my third 100 million. But appreciate the book. All right. It's not a person right there. Oop, plants. There we go. Is this guy underground? Is that why I can't see him? Must be. And there's this.
Yeah, I got nothing here. Hey, you still owe me from the other night. Sniper's poker game? Don't think I forgot.
Roger. Getting in position.
Like you do anything you
On the sniper.
Light his ass up.
Okay, Ghost Lead. We're clear.
Thank you.
Nice shooting.
There's my drone. I was like, where is that thing? All right. There's a couple of those drones, too. I want eyes on all the drones before we... I want eyes on all those drones before we assault across any of these objectives. Doesn't look like it's going to give me what I want, though. All right, so where we're actually heading, though, is this building. Okay. Building looks clear. Somehow. Right, 2 down. There's our guy. I know there's one over there somewhere. All right, let's get closer. All right, we're going to Genghis Khan this joint. One piece of terrain at a time. Got him, got him, got him. Thank you. Good eyes on, lady. I love her. She's the best.
Maneuvering in position. All set.
Smoke. Damn, did you lose it? Come on, smoke. Did you get him? Or did you lose? Where did it go? It's saying you're still locked on. Light him up. No? All right, we'll wait for it to reemerge. Meantime, between the time, I'm going to stay low.
Roger. Moving to target.
Smoke.
Set here, boss. I'm clear.
Got him.
They're gone.
Good shooting.
Rock and roll.
Got him. All right. All right, where's my location in reference to these two patrolling? Got it. All right, gang, eyes on here shortly. If they turn right, let them ride. If they keep coming, light their ass up. Turning right. Let's get busy. Shit. Who? Oh, they found the drone. Damn it, I forgot they find drones, too. Same mistake I made last time. Gotta get better, team. This one's on your boss. That's alright, we're going to stay mostly hidden for the most part here. We'll be able to break out of this. No problem. No game sound or it's extremely low, says Jolly. That would be extremely low. There you go. Should be able to hear something there.
There's a good chance your neighbor was the last person to have had eyes on Madeira. Follow the breadcrumbs.
Alright, so let me get out of line of sight here real quick.
Over there.
Yeah, gotcha. Stand by. Figure out how pissed off we made all these people. Alright, they're just on alert for now. Did it break up my little band of brothers over here? Nope, it actually sent reinforcements, which is fine. We can handle reinforcements. Can't handle is any more bollocksing. Ah, they're getting close. All right, light this fool up right here.
Get a clean shot. On your go, Ghost Lead.
Damn it, that's not where I want him. Smoke him.
Hostile down, Ghost Lead.
Good. I need his body off the ground. Stay over here where we have concealment. Go, 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 go. Stay out of sight. Line of sight. Line of sight. Grab his ass and get busy. Grab his ass and get busy. Fuck! Move, 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 you heathen! Fuck! Move, you dumb bitch! It doesn't take that long to fireman's carry somebody, god damn it. Fuck this game. Pick his ass up, Nomad. We got killing to do. Oh, so much for that. Y'all are the worst.
The HVT's trying to get away.
There was an HVT? Shit. Eyes on. Oh, word? Is that what you want? Is me? Nomad to come on out? I'll come out. Fuck you. Yeah, head on a swivel, ho. And bullets in it. How about that on a swivel, bitch? Just swiveling ass out of here. Why does he have to stand up straight and pause for a second before he runs away? That's stupid. Yeah, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Run, fool. Trolls in this game sometimes. Ah, shit, 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 shit. Raj.
Contact! Enemy contact! Yo, I see movement!
Sorry, gang. The game is... I don't even know what button did that. Oh, that button. Okay. Ball stabs. Nothing but ball stabs, baby. Love a good ball stab, don't you? Alright, I guess we're going hot. Screw it. So much for me being tactical. Let's kick ass.
Roger. Combat drones flying. Get him. Blast it out.
Yep, I can see you, buddy. Yeah, push through, gang. There you go. Alright, so we got the southwest corner of this place locked up pretty well. I'm gonna push north as my team pushes east. Try to meet him in the middle. Alright, gang, look alive. I'm gonna start pushing people toward you. Totally not doing this right, but again, I'm playing a video game and I'm impatient.
Combat drone's battery is drained.
No worries.
Have it right about now.
Guys are coming.
Good.
They're on us! Engage contact!
Smoke! Come on, man. I gave you guys the order to smoke. Do it.
Enemy down. Destroyed the target. Wasted an
Nice. Good shot, sniper. Smoke them. Or actually capture them. I don't think we want them dead. Here they come. Smoked them. Next.
Grenade fire!
That'll do some damage.
Hostile, there! Smoked him.
Good shooting, homie. Or good grenading, I should say. Well done, team. I was bitching about how terrible y'all were in another segment, but you guys came through on this one. Well done. Let's push to the objective. Y'all good? Stay black.
Killed them all here. En route to you.
Boo-doo-boo. Boo-doo-doo.
Hey, pal. I'm looking for your neighbor, Paula Madeira.
Oh, I haven't seen her around for a while. She just left one day. I heard Sentinel has a new engineer continuing her work.
Who knows where Paula went?
Nah, there was some guy, Daggero. She used to meet in Auroa's parliament. It sounded like he was one of those protest kids.
Thanks.
All right, all right. I was hoping that cutscene would last longer than it did. All right, check your intel on Paula Madeira. All right, let's holler at Paula Madeira. Yeah, engaging with this TAC map nonsense was bad. Like, whoever came up with this silliness, dude. Like, just stop. Please don't make video games anymore. I think I landed on top of that building for that mission when I did it before. Cool. All right, now am I allowed to... Okay, still pinned. Is that all it wanted me to do was just look at that intel, and now we got to go 5 clicks away? Royer. Jay Cardoso says the Washington Commanders? Yep. That's what they wanted to call our team. Because apparently they fired all the artists at... Yeah, I got nothing. You want to call it Washington Commanders, go nuts. Yes. Kaz says, I posted a new logo for them to use. Oh, snap. I need to look it up. I need to go check it out. Ursula says, gonna head out. Dream sweet, folks, and many blessings. Same to you, Ursula. Always a pleasure, my lady.
Hold up. We got bad guys nearby.
But I thought you killed everybody. What do you mean you got bad guys nearby? Y'all done shot everybody. Should be no bad guys around. Alright, where'd that intel I just saw go? Apparently I'm right on top of it. Which leads me to believe it's in one of these buildings and underground somewhere. Maybe the building that's all boarded up gets us underground. Let's go check. Maybe they boarded it up to hide the fact that there's awesomeness here. Or maybe there's just actually anything here. Where? Oh, fart on the donkey's lips.
Okay, we're clear here.
See that, game designers? You just climb it. That's all you gotta do is climb. See how easy that was? You know, if you want to make your characters incapable of jumping, that's fine, but just also make them capable of climbing, and then the problem's solved. Otherwise, I'd have to run all the way around the mountain like this is Skyrim, because people make games stupidly. See that? Ghost Recon navigates better than Skyrim. You heard it here first. Of course, I don't think that was news to anybody. I think everybody pretty... Yeah. Ubisoft's been good at this for a while. If you've seen Assassin's Creed, they're pretty dope at that. Yeah. Everybody should have started doing that after. Like, that's the thing. Like, the thing that baffles me is, like, game companies will copy all the shit that sucks, but not the stuff that's awesome. Like, Assassin's Creed Climb Anything should be in every game ever that's open like this. But instead, you'll copy Battle Royale and make us all have to play hide and seek like we're still 9 years old with guns. I mean, take y'all's time getting on the helicopter, by all means. Oh, hell yeah, we're flying through that. We flying through that. Hell yeah. You know we are. Shit. Like, I ain't gonna fly through it. I'm flying right through it. Peace, ho. All in there, too. Look at me flying. Look at me flying, G. I'm like the Dolomite. Look at that. Too smooth. Too cold. That should have been televised. That was so dope. Woo! Let off a half second too late. Love helicopters, man, because you could do stuff like that. Hell, I could do that all night for the game and not shoot anybody, and that would still be fun. It's just flying. Like, literally playing this game and flying the helicopter through stunts. I could do that. I could just do that. Alright. Good vantage point. Let's figure it out. Yeah, I think I stayed in this base so long, there were like I think there were 2 day-night cycle shifts from all the killing we did here the last time I played this.
On your toes, everyone. We got hostiles in the area. Watch the aerial drone. Roger.
Fuck that drone. Matter of fact, get that other drone too.
Roger, moving.
I'm locked up a hostile.
Smoke.
We got a recon drone.
Where? Give me eyes on.
Moving in on hostile.
Got two for 3. Smoke.
Killed him.
Solid work.
Alrighty, right. Jacob B. Pert says, military question. Aren't there missions that you go in specifically for the objective and bodies drop don't matter or are to be avoided? I'm not sure I understand the question. Are you saying there's missions people are sent on where they're not supposed to kill people? The answer to that's sure. Absolutely. I've done them in training and in war where killing is not the objective at all. In fact, you'll find quite a few of the missions in war have nothing to do with killing. Oh no, that's a freaking person, not an enemy. Trying to light them up.
Maneuvering in position. Roger that. Moving now.
Maneuvering now, boss.
Locked up. Enemy target blocked.
That's all three. Smoke.
Okay, Ghost Lead. We're clear.
Good hits.
Getting in position.
Shit. Is that hip?
Moving to the target.
Killed him.
Rock and roll.
Got him. Bivouac Saint. Oh, he didn't die. He's still bleeding out. All right. Cat says, darn it, another recon team landed on the roof. Go take your broom up there and bang it till they leave. Woo-wee! Why are you not parachuting, you stupid ass? It made me stay on the building. You whore of whores. I was ready to parachute off the building like an awesome person. And he just slips off the building and scales it to his death. Because Ubisoft can't be bothered to make the controls not clumsy. When it comes to that. Oh, Christ. I was doing great, too, on that mission. Now I got to do all that over again. These games need save anywhere, desperately. I mean, I don't think the game could run if it had it, but this checkpoint shit, dude. This is what made me never finish Just Cause 2. At least in this game, though, you don't have to go all the way back a lot of times. Phew. Scooby-Doo. And I realize we're up on time, too, gang, so we'll reload here, take some last-minute comments and questions, and then we'll let y'all get on with your eve. I actually thought we had more time. It's later than I thought it was. That's good. Time goes fast when you're hanging with cool folk. All right, so where did it put me? Out on the bridge? And are all the people I already shot still dead? Or do we have to do this again?
Heads up, everybody. Got guests at the party.
Marking breacher. Visual sniper. He's ready to fire.
Sniper dead. I just shot a grenade in his mouth. He's good. You want some too, ho? Come on, get you some. Anybody else want some? Who else want a little bit of this ass whooping? Does anybody else need some of this ass whooping that I brought? Because I got plenty. And I want to share. I love sharing. Yeah, don't take no chances, baby. Because you know he got that grenade launcher. That didn't kill him? Okay. Hang in there, brother. I'm here. Hey, stay strong, okay? Okay? Nobody's gonna kill you. You're gonna be alright. Listen, I know that grenade hurt, but I had to do it, okay? Had to do it, baby. Oh, shit, no. Hurry. Damn it.
Tell me more about this. Now.
I got nothing more to say. Please, don't hurt me.
Ain't nobody gonna hurt you, baby. You good. How many shots to the balls does it take? Is that dude wearing ball body armor? That was a lot of ball shots right there, baby. Lots of balls for the shooting. Yeah, ho. Grenades kill around corners. All that hiding.
Breacher identified.
Mama's a breacher. Or maybe your daddy's the breacher. Probably got that description wrong.
Shooting. I hit one.
Speaking of shooting.
This ain't gonna take long. Hit him. Hit him.
All in there, boy. Killing hard. By Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm gonna shoot this drone out the sky with a grenade, ho. Bow! I missed. Well, I was trying to shoot the drone. Not really working that well. Oh, she shot the drone. Thank you. Hey, my team actually helped. My team hard, making them lean hard. Oh, that drone is lunching. Good night, drone. Kick ass now. Oh, here they come. Three rounds left. Smoke.
Breacher marked.
What's up, homie? Rap with me a little bit.
Hello. I'm looking for someone. Goes by the name of Daigoro. Know where I can find him?
That's everything in a nutshell.
Thanks, stranger.
Who?
Visual on sniper.
Hey, give me eyes on. Where? Call it out, homie. You called out, but give me a direction, an azimuth, something. Give me something to work with. Don't just call it out. Tell me where.
Heads up. Bad guy over there. There it is, boss. I see a sniper. We're gonna have bad guys on us.
You both see the sniper. Care to...
Enemy over there.
Yeah, over there is not helpful.
Got a grenade for ya.
Good.
I'll get you a scan.
Good work.
Got a sniper ready to shoot.
Smoke his ass. There, she's marking the targets. Thank you, lady. Smoke his ass. Oh, damn it, he went out. Did I get him? Oh, you got him. Good shooting.
One shot, one kill.
Headshot right as he emerged. That's how she's done. Let's get it. Good killing, y'all. Way to play as a team. Up, one down. Or one up, rather. Hey, hey, look alive. On your 6, homie. See how I gave you a direction? See how that's helpful?
Hostiles have been alerted.
So now you've seen kind of two ways. The more stealthy approach to taking out a base, and then the effort we're going in with grenades. Both options doable. Both options fun. Just have to pick which one you want to engage with. when you play the game and how you want to play and how your fun is doled out to ye. Is that guy visible or is he behind? Looks like he's behind terrain. Actually, he's 240 meters away. He's... What?
Rookie move. That was a friendly.
Oh, well, why was he lit up with red shit? Stupid ass game. Mark your people better.
Target the heavy gunner.
Your mama's a heavy gunner. Come on. Hey, can I get somebody on the snipes here? Can I get somebody to take out Wesley Snipes up here? Get him.
Copy, boss. Moving there. All set.
Smoke.
We're clear. They're gone.
All units on alert.
Got a hostile over there. Damn.
Hostile. I'm taking cover.
No, you ain't neither.
Drone's airborne.
No way he's acquiring targets when I got a shot in his neck, his upper chest, and shoulder. Ain't no way that dude was about to pick his rifle up to acquire a target. Silliness.
Eyes on a hostile. Throwing a live one.
That'll go.
That drone's out of commission.
It'll be missed.
That guy spotted.
Eyes up. Come on, y'all. That's how we do it, baby girl. Oh, that was dumb. Thought I got a little too cocky on that one. Just went straight for the headshot and missed.
Over there. Keep quiet. They don't know we're still. Heads up. Bad guy over there.
We got hostiles in the area.
Over there.
Ryan says, actually, my mama was a heavy gunner. Awesome. That just makes her even more awesome in my sight. I'm swimming for your asshole. That's how important this kill is. Can I steal the technical? Oh, dang it, I wasn't paying attention. Which one? Some vehicles, yes, you can take. Others, you can't. See, now that looks like a bad guy. And I got yelled at for shooting the last one. Okay, those were actual bad guys this time. And I didn't shoot the civilian. Awesome. Hey, civilian. How you living, baby? Staying cool out here?
No. No need to fear.
Got a hostile position there.
Could really use some information about this.
I wish I knew more.
Thanks a million.
About some muzzle discipline and not pointing your silencer right at her sternum while you're talking to her. How about that? Well, put your weapon down when you're talking to people so they don't feel terrified. Yeah, the scavenger hunts in this game are dope. Like the stuff you can just find laying around the map. Really, really cool. It's a lot of fun to be had in one of these types of games, man. You just gotta find it. Gotta find the fun. Take what it gives you. Kick ass. Alright, now speaking of kicking ass. Back to the map. It wants me to talk to Moderna again. Like, what? Oh, that's right. I got him killed, so I had to do it again. Got it. Got him. Alright, so it's pinned already. How far out are we going? Don't see a map marker. Oh, there's the map marker. How far? 1.7 kilometers, and that's where we're going to leave it, friends. Take the last comments and bid you all a fine good evening. And we're going to let Nomad and his buddies get some rest, too. They worked hard tonight. They've earned a day off. There, how's that for a vantage point?
Roger, moving to target.
See if he can actually get eyes on this target. Smoke.
Got him. They're down.
Solid work.
Solid work. Ooh. Now, I don't think this game has a save game feature. I think it's just always auto-saving, if I'm not mistaken. Because I'm always looking for... I should save. Because I don't want to have to redo things. But I don't think saving is actually an option. Oh, can I have more than 2? Or is... No. I was like, oh, if I can get that, holla at me. Anywho. Lots of fun to be had here in Aurora. Fictitious land they made up to do this Elon Musk adventure that you're basically on in the game. Good times to be had by all. And I had a fantastic time talking with all of you about health, how you define health. And I appreciate you guys taking the extra step to actually tell me what your definition of health is on the show. I think, one, that's really helpful for everybody here to kind of get everybody's perspectives. But two, it kind of also helped y'all flesh out kind of how you're looking at your health, and it put you in a position where it made you take a minute to focus on you, which is always good for your personal mental and emotional health. So I enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much for being a part of it tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Jolly, as always, for helping. Thanks to all the moderators here for keeping all the bots out of our face. It is an ongoing pain in the butt to have these bots. Believe me, I know. I used to run message forums before social media got started when I was trying to build my online empire. Back in the day before I hung up the cleats. I know bots are a pain. They're actually way less painful on YouTube than they were on anything I used to run in the past. So thank you for all you guys helping out with that. And thanks just to everybody for being here, participating, being a part of what we're calling transformational entertainment, where obviously we're trying to make you laugh, trying to get you some dopamine inside your brain minds, but also trying to give you something that you can take away from the show and apply to your life that hopefully makes your life just a little bit better. So we all love you here. I'm going to double check the comments here to make sure I'm not missing anything important. I think when they say over, there is marking it on the HUD. That's a good point, Kaz. I wasn't even looking at the HUD. I probably should have been. Jacob says, everyone take care, stay warm and safe, and kill it tomorrow. Yes, Turbo says, good night, all. Method, eat, sleep, move well. Yes, you too, Turbo. Good night, y'all. It's a blessing. Ryan says, Tomba. Anyway, I love you guys. We are stronger than I. We'll be back at it. Let's see, today's Wednesday. Yes, we will be back tomorrow, barring schedule changes. I still have a floating meeting that I'm supposed to have this week that has not been locked down yet. So technically, that could prevent us from having a stream tomorrow, but that meeting should be happening during normal business hours, not in the wee of the night. So tomorrow we should be back with Arcania, the complete tale as they call it now. It was once upon a time called Arcania Gothic 4. It's no longer called that. This is probably my favorite out of all the games we're currently playing. Ghost Recon's definitely up there, and certainly Final Fantasy II is definitely up there. But we'll be back most likely tomorrow with Arcania. We're getting closer and closer to finishing this up. I'm pretty sure we are we have at least started the third and final act of this game, so it shouldn't be too many more episodes of it. And then we're still kind of filtering in and figuring out what are the games that we're going to play next on the show. As always, you can leave me comments in the gamer chat section or the streamer chat. I actually don't mind. Either one would be appropriate for games you'd like to recommend that I play on stream. Actually, keeping it in the streamer chat will be easier to keep it in one place. But like, if there's games you'd love for me to play, you can always recommend. It doesn't mean I'll do it because I may not own it. It may be a game that I hate and know that I shouldn't play, or you may end up saying, hey, I'd love for you to play Two Worlds. That's a game I always wanted to see, and then I can say, hey, we should be friends because that's like my favorite game ever in the history of games. So, yeah. Anyway, back at it tomorrow with Arcania 4. If I get time to do a daytime show tomorrow, maybe we'll do a doubleheader, and we'll have some more fun. Keep killing it, gang. Back at it. Peace.